So John Lovitz is on the show, and Lovitz is an old buddy of ours, and he's got a dog named Jerry, and goddamn Jerry is everywhere. Every time we go somewhere, Jerry.
Hello, Jerry. Yeah, he can never leave the house without Jerry. Jerry literally, when I played Vegas, Jerry would, with John, Jerry would just be behind the curtain, just kind of waiting, And then sometimes Jerry would wander out when John was doing stand-up. Crowd would go crazy.
Dog is, and I hate to say it, not that cute. I hate to say it. It's not that cute.
Sometimes, dogs are so ugly, they're cute because they don't know how bizarre looking they are.
But yeah, I'll give it that.
It's a toothy underbite.
Yeah.
A tight little dog, but a sweet dog.
I saw another dog walk by and goes, gross. And dogs aren't usually judgmental like that. Gross.
Do I have any dog routines?
Oh, dude, by the way, what about Nick Cannon with his kids?
Nick Cannon had another kid.
Another kid, and he's shameless. He's out doing a fucking gender reveal. I'm like, I would be like, I got another kid.
I like when anyone gets into that double-digit kid thing from a different array of women throughout multiple decades. I'm getting warm. I'm going to start
I know
flushing.
It's boiling fucking hot. This is my new house. Dana's first time in it, and he likes it. He said, if you ever want to take a nice stroll with a girl, just take her down the hallway.
Oh, you say, let's go for a long walk. Do we have to leave the interior of the house? No, we're going for a 5-miler. I got lost 3 times here in 20 minutes. I was just wandering upstairs, and I did rifle through some personal items.
Oh, yeah?
I rifled through your drawers. Is that the only time human beings use the word rifle?
I think so. Other than a real rifle, yes.
Yeah, but I rifled through your drawers and saw some personal items.
Yeah. Dana, we couldn't find you, and I turned on your Find My Phone, and that's how we found him. He was over in the East Wing. I like how I bring up my own house. I went by the
life-size statue of yourself you made. The loincloth was a nice touch. Is it bronze? Anyway, David Spade is a solid legend.
Gold dishwasher. All right.
How many Instagram followers? Just throw it out there.
It's sort of bombing now. I'm more on TikTok. Look me up.
TikTok.
TikTok, it's so gross, but I'm
too old. I don't know nothing about no TikTok. I like when there were free channels.
How about my neighbors hate me, and they just made a thing where they went to the city and made sure you had to have a parking permit, and only in front of my house.
Really?
They fucked me. Yeah, I've been a neighbor for 6 weeks. I'm like, how much do you hate me within seconds to go to the city council? This guy's the worst. She's the one that said, he's giving my dog diarrhea. I'm like, are you sure it's me? How the dog looks at you every day and goes,
that's what you get for buying a house on Vendetta Place. Pick a different address, cowboy. Anyway, it doesn't even make sense.
That kind of did.
Look, John Lovitz. Can you do it? What's your best impression, John Lovitz? Everyone's got one because he's so impressionable.
I got one. He says, I made him say this word on one of my Instagram stories. Balderdash. But he can say it so much better. He's got such a good voice.
Balderdash. Yeah, it's a little Mae West, actually. Hello, ladies.
We hear about John and Dana. We won't say, but we will ask about a movie you guys were both going to do, a well-known movie.
Oh, I don't mind saying it. Bad Boys.
I'm saying we're not going to say it.
He makes John. Why do they keep bringing it up?
Why not? It's funny. Dude, I turned down Home Alone because I was 28. And I could read.
Really?
I could play 7. But Macaulay Culkin got it. I saw him at the final callbacks. I go, they're going way young.
I turned down Yoda in the original Star Wars. I said, no too much on the drive.
No, because he did it that way. You did it regular, like, not try, do. And then you saw Yoda go in and do that, and you go, we're doing a weird voice? Let me go in again. Let me try it again.
First comes fly on the wall. Then comes money. Then comes ladies.
Money in the bank. Yes, no? Try, do.
Hey, Yoda, could you stop making these cryptic lists? First come pain. It's like Billy Bob Thornton and Sling Blade.
I would.
Don't know about no Yoda.
I would ask Yoda about Bitcoins back then and said, Yoda, fucking take care of your pal. What's the story with him? And then tell me about the Death Star, whatever bullshit.
I'm starting a currency. I was going to ask you to join in. It's called cryptic currency. It's very sort of scary.
Oh, okay.
Cryptic
I'm
currency.
In. All right, back to Lovitz.
Back to Lovitz. Speaking of
John Lovitz, we'll let him tell you the story of his life, because when you have Lovitz on, have a nice listen.
He used to say that about having lunch with Lorne Michaels, because Lorne's a brilliant talker. John Lovitz he hates this, is so naturally funny. I'm not naturally funny. It's the way, it's my acting and my writing.
No, he's got a funny bone. Like, there's people in
just
comedy
funny.
that just have a funny bone, and he is, no matter what we say.
No matter what we say.
No matter
what anybody says,
No, anyone
he's
says-
funny.
He's a good actor and all that stuff, but he just has a funny way about him, which is, you can't teach that.
Well, John loves to tease, and so if you just go and you're having a conversation with him, he'll start getting you defensive. You don't even know it. What do you want? What, you didn't want to come to the lunch? You just came because you felt pressure? He'll just say that out of the blue. So then you go, no, I didn't. Then you start coming back at him.
Yeah, last time I saw him, he has a Mustang. He goes, my car's blue. Jealous? I go, I think I can get a blue car. Can you?
I know. He was at the Knicks game in New York, and he was sitting on the court for the first time on his life. He goes, my feet are on the wood. Jealous?
Lauren said that to me. Someone said I was the most naturally funny person on SNL. I said, you think I'm the funniest person that ever did at SNL? He goes, no, naturally funny.
John Lovitz, ladies and gentlemen. How are you?
Now, how do I know you two?
I met John at the beach house.
Oh, that's right. You guys shared the beach house.
No, Gervitz and Lovitz shared a beach house on Malibu. And for people that don't know, that's where we'd go and jump in the water. I'd go with Chris, I think, and Farley. And then one time, and
that's right.
Brad Pitt was there sometimes, right? That was exciting.
So we're talking the 80s, Malibu, 90s?
90s.
No, 90s, sorry. 90s Malibu Beach House, which I went to.
Yeah, the three of us have been friends for years, for those of you listening, and are still friends.
That's where sweet Chris Farley, like I'm out on the patio, and then I'm talking to John. Chris came out totally naked, but with suds all over him, like soap, like all
I
sudsy.
told you that story. That was it.
That's a great story,
You were
Dana.
there. Yeah, I saw it. So he must have done it more than once.
I know, but it's funny. Hey, John, what about when there was the Malibu fires and
Chris was at the beach. Yeah, I remember David. You called him and said, you go, where are you? He goes, I'm at the beach. He goes, it's nice, but it's really cloudy. And David goes, you idiot. Those aren't clouds. There's a fire. It's smoke. He had no idea.
It was like Tommy Boy, but in
And the
real
hill
life.
across the street was on fire. Literally, the hill across the street. And then it ended up happening. I don't even put this in your podcast, but the 5 doors down, a house burnt down, and they rebuilt it. And that was the house, David, that you.
Oh, that's when I bought. That burned down in that
okay.
fire. Oh, my God.
That house burned down in that fire. Yeah.
Wow.
And they rebuilt it. It was all wood, and they rebuilt it the same, but like, I guess, whatever it was, stucco or cement. I was never invited, even though I invited you to mine. You know?
I just want you said something a minute ago, John, that made me laugh, but I don't know if it was just sort of an offhand comment of seriously calling your friend an idiot, kind of like the Three Stooges. Is no, you idiot? Those are clouds. Does any adult male just go, no, you idiot?
No, that's what David said to Farley.
But did David really say, no, you idiot? I don't think
so, yeah. I mean, no, because that's how we would talk, and that turned into...
It just sounds like the Three Stooges. No, you idiot. Do you really? You would say that to Chris? That's funny.
Chris said, David called me and said, it's cloudy. He goes, you idiot.
Well, listen to me, you fool.
I will tell you, when I got to SNL, Lovitz was there, and I was a fan, and I knew Dana a little bit, I knew Kevin a little bit, and then Lovitz I just seen on the show, and we talked over, I think, where you have dinner, in that little area, and you were lighting the show, so we got a chance to talk, but you weren't usually lighting the show. And
John was lighting the show.
And but he never was. But then we talked, because I was saying I have to write now, and no one tells you how to write. You just get a yellow pad and a wooden desk and a pen. And so I said, I'll write you something. And you said, yeah, okay. And so I wrote you a sketch about a guy who's this mad scientist that turns into a pufferfish. So he when he gets mad, he turns into a pufferfish. And I wrote it, and then it was probably 17 pages and 5 different sets. And then I don't think Shoemaker put it in read through because
I have no memory of that.
it was. Yeah, I don't think we did it because it was so.
It sounds
off.
funny. It sounds funny. I like
It's
the premise.
weird because I realized, this is your guys' podcast, but the reality is you both look up to me because I was on the show before both of you.
True.
That actually is true. I remember seeing John in the '85 season, and you immediately stood out to me. Your presence and your voice with Master Disguise. Freudian slip. It's on live streaming everywhere, kids. John did Master Thespian and The Liar, and they were just so potent characters and so different than anything that had been on the show. Don't you think, John? I mean, they were eccentric.
Thank you. Well, you know what happened? I was in the Groundlings Theater and I did those characters, and then I never forget, I got Saturday Night Live, which now people go to the Groundlings to try to get on SNL. I never thought I'd be on it in a million years. I just wanted to get in the company and get seen and get work. And on the ninth floor, was the bleacher seats. So I was up there, and right at the entrance on the right was a glass case, and it had like John on a mannequin, John Belushi's bee costume, and next to that was Eddie Murphy's Gumby costume with a life mask of Eddie Murphy. And I remember looking at that and going, "Oh my God!" I go, "I can't do what they did." They were huge, icons. I'm like, and I just thought, what am I going to do? And I go, well, I guess I'll just be funny the way I'm funny, and either it'll work or this is the end of the road.
And it didn't work. Yeah.
And it didn't work.
The puffer fish could have really put you, but actually by the time I got
work, it exceeded anyone's expectations.
John, you were huge from, what were the big ones at that point? You already did The Liar, right?
When you came on, but when I got the show, Dinah Minot was a producer, and she goes, "Here's who we think's going to break out on the show."
And you weren't on the list?
No.
No, really?
Yeah. So Dana, you walked away. When I got the show, Dinah Minot was the producer. She goes, "John, here's who we think's going to break out. Joan Cusack, Robert Downey Jr., Terry Sweeney, Randy Quaid, and someone else."
So she's telling
she
you?
didn't say my name. I go, I'm on the show, right? No, I was the last guy they expected. They didn't expect me to be the guy that broke out.
And Dinah Minot was one of
them.
A producer on the show for several years. She's great. But I want to go back to the Groundlings for a second because we've talked about this on other podcasts. You have a way of making your voice incredibly loud, like really. So who else could have done Master Thespian? Because that seems to be just it's coming from. I mean, it must have just.
I was in college and I had a Shakespeare professor, William Needles, who was he was like remember the movie Professor Chips, where they all loved their professor. He was like that to all the students, and he was great to me.
I saw his improv group, Pins and Needles.
No.
Pins and Needles. The Coconut.
Yes. He was in the Stratford Festival in Canada. He was like, he mentored people like Maggie Smith, the great actress.
Oh,
she credits him. Anyway, so he came to Irvine to teach us, UC Irvine as a drama major, to teach us Shakespeare. And he did it the first time I'd never heard it in person at all. And he said, "Now I'm going to do some Shakespeare for you." And then his voice completely changed. He went, "Oh, for the muse of fire that will ascend the brightest heaven of invention." And I heard that. I was like, what the fuck is that? I'd never heard anything like it. And I could just somehow imitate him. And I liked actors with those booming voices like him and John Barrymore and John Carradine, if you see him in the 10 Commandments.
Oh, yeah.
You hear his voice booming off the soundstage. It's so loud. And so I was just somehow able to do it. I don't know how. I think also from my father, he would yell a lot, and I picked it up from him. Stop it!
It all goes back to all of our dads were a little crazy.
Yeah.
You got to have a crazy dad to be a comedian, basically.
Yeah, I think, yeah. And, but I just love the Laurence Olivier. I like that it was
Larry.
real, but bigger than life, but theatrical. That's what, so like Peter O'Toole's like that, he's real, but he's so dynamic and theatrical that it's thrilling, for me. That's the kind of performance I like.
Nicolas Cage would talk about
Well,
that
I'll
too.
give you an example of a performance like that in modern times that Dana, you love, is real but theatrical and bigger than life, and yet real, was Al Pacino Scarface, right?
What are you talking about, man? You don't know what are you talking about. Yeah, no, it was operatic, and the whole film was operatic, and so it was very bigger than life. But I believe, unless I misheard this, that Al Pacino says that's his favorite role, even though some critics had an issue with it. But I think it's kind of brilliant.
I've actually gotten to meet him, and I told him that how much you love it and you imitate it. And he goes, people come up to me with lines that aren't from that movie, that aren't even like the catchphrase lines, and he goes, and they repeat them to me.
Look at the little birdies. The birdie's gonna fly, man. Say goodbye to the bad guy. All of it is musical. To me, it's like the Beatles or something. Yeah. Brilliant.
I met Al Pacino, and he was talking about all my stuff so much, I never even got around to Scarface. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, I'm looking for a very handsome cowboy man. I've seen it. He was also in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is another one of my current favorites.
Dude, do that line again. Is that for what he's talking about, Brad Pitt?
Yeah, he's coming to the bar. Gina, 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 the woman in the mystic light. I'm looking for a very handsome cowboy man. Yeah, I try. Yeah, let's face it, man. I'm a goddamn ham-spin. What'd that guy say to you? Says he wants me to go do some Italian westerns. Don't cry in front of the Mexicans. I'm just quoting the movie.
Is that Brad? That's a good Brad.
Brad Pitt. Oh, yeah. My wife and I quote him all the time. It's a good plan. When he has to fire him, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to let you go. I don't think I can afford to keep you. I think that's a good plan. I try.
It's funny because you mentioned the beach house, and all of us were friends, and Cynthia Pett, Brad's manager, rented the house next door, and Brad was always there. And it's fun to see, like, know everybody. I remember Brad, Cynthia Pett, his manager, said, "Hey, I have a client. Can you say hi to you? He's a big fan. What's his name? Brad Pitt." I go, "Okay." And then I had to look at her. I go, "What's his name again?" She goes, "Brad." I go, "Oh, hey, Brad." Hey, I didn't even know one had heard of him.
A week later, you had a tattoo of him. I know I did.
No, but it's funny. It's fun that you guys are known now, but I remember when David was, I remember the first time I saw Dana, you brought me to see him at a club, and you said he's really, what'd you say? He's
funny.
No, yeah, but you go, he really looks up to Dennis Miller and I. He kind of
up we were kind of his mom and dad.
And I remember I saw you, David. And I was like, oh my God, he's a total mix of you didn't have. I don't think you'd found your voice yet.
Yeah, that's true. Those guys I really liked, and I think at the beginning, you are styles of your people you like the most, and then it just turns into its own. And then I knew because Sandler goes, I saw this guy and he reminded me of you. I go, oh, he goes, he's biting a lot of your shit. I go, oh, I'm at the point where someone's doing it like me. I like that better.
Nice. Yes.
No, you guys were great. That's why. And SNL was, I had a question for you. You guys did, wait, no, I'll go back. We did Coneheads together. That was one of the first movies, John. What did you do in Coneheads? Because there's a million cameos.
In Coneheads?
Yeah, were you in Coneheads?
Yeah, I was I thought you said Coneheads. I was the dentist.
Oh, that's right. When his mouth opens really big.
Yeah, and his opens huge.
Oh, that's right. It goes like 4 feet. Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of played it like my dad, like a doctor. I played it, and then I made up a thing that the nurse in it. It wasn't in the script. I said, let's just pretend that we're like having a fight, but we're trying to cover it up.
That's a good choice
so
for an actor.
Added a lot to the scene where I'd go, get the thing.
The director they got, I think, because he directed the Take on Me video, and he did that needless. It's like black and white, and it looks like someone sketched it, and the guy jumps out of it. That was such a big video. Steve Barron, I think they got him to direct Coneheads. I don't know if he's like a huge comedy director, but he had me, you, Sandler.
Farley was in it, yeah.
Farley, Ellen DeGeneres, Sinbad, Phil, Drew Carey.
Oh, and then a friend of mine was in it because he's friends with Dan Aykroyd, Mitchell Bobrow. And Mitchell was like, in the 60s, he was the world karate champion. He was one of the best Taekwondo karate guy of the 60s. He was like, he was better than Chuck Norris, and he was very close friends with Bruce Lee. And I'm still friends with him. He's a really nice guy. He was in Coneheads, but working with Dan Aykroyd was the best because he used to be on the show. And I remember, well, Dan, I don't know if you remember, David, but when Dan Aykroyd came to the show and he did Bob Dole.
Yes, I remember that.
And then he took all of us out to dinner at the Hard Rock Cafe, and he gave us these Hard Rock Cafe jackets. And we were all like dead broke. And I was sitting next to Jan Hooks, and she goes, "Who is this guy?" Because he was just so nice, and he treated us so great. And I love Dan. I got to play his brother in a movie. My stepmother's an alien years late in '88, but when those guys came to the show, it was just so thrilling.
Oh, it was so crazy when Dan Aykroyd walked on. How are you? Hi, you doing good stuff here?
Yeah, you guys are doing a great job.
You know what? Do you guys remember this? Just to paint a scene when you're on Saturday Night Live, just weird things happen. Like one time I just walked into Lorne's office on the 9th floor and Mick Jagger was sitting there.
Ooh.
It's like, oh, Mick Jagger. Or when there's a host, the host is down on the, what floor, 8th floor or whatever. The host is down there waiting and they're like, Charlton Heston would like to meet you. And you're kind of nervous, like you're walking to meet this celebrity you've known your whole life. It was interesting,
that happened
right?
To me, my first year on the show, Jerry Hall was hosting with Mick Jagger's girlfriend, and she had an idea for a sketch, and I didn't realize it was her way of getting back at Mick for lying to her. But it was with my liar character. So about 4:30 on Saturday,
That's funny.
Lawrence says, "Hey, John, Mick Jagger's at the studio. Can you go downstairs and show him how to do your liar character?" I go, "Okay." And I go down there and I meet him and I'm saying, well, anyway, I do this character. And in my head, I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. I'm explaining to Mick Jagger how I do this.
Oh my God, I'm older than him.
I joke between a friend of mine and I, Lisa. And
I know, it's surreal,
and
right?
then now I'm explaining to Mick Jagger.
He goes,
how to do it.
Yes, that's the ticket. I mean, could he do it? I mean, was it?
Well, yeah, we did it on the air. And if you saw the sketch now, you'd look at it and go, John, is that you or your son? Anyway, and I was so skinny. And then Jerry Holler, I at a bar and I'm hitting on her. And she mentions the Stones. She goes, oh, you know Mick Jagger? I go, and oh yeah. I go, we were in Vietnam together. Whitney Brown wrote the sketch.
Whitney Brown.
And then Mick comes in and then he goes, yeah, I know Tommy. And I go, yeah, we were fishing. And I go, big, little, big, and we start lying. And about a year later, she called up the show and invited Dennis Miller and I and Nora over to their house out of the blue. And we couldn't find Nora. So Dennis Miller and I went.
You mean you didn't look for her?
We're in their living room and Mick Jagger goes, oh, I know what that liar thing is now. I didn't then. And Dennis and I, they had across in their living room, there was a mirror above the couch where Mick and Jerry Hollerson and Dennis and I, our eyes caught in the mirror. And afterward, we went outside. I go, Dennis, were you thinking what I was thinking just now? I go, yeah. We both think a year and a half ago, we were like dead broke. And now we're sitting in Mick Jagger's living room in his house in New York. Stuff like that.
I know you get, just to set the scene for people listening, it's just, you're kind of usually, when you get cast on SNL, you're unknown, you're just fledgling, and then you're on live TV, and then you're meeting all these celebrities. You remember the night me and Dennis went into the Columbus Cafe, sitting in the back was Mick Jagger and David Bowie. We hung out with them for a while, and then Bowie wanted to hang out.
Bowie goes, you want to go dancing? And we're like, yeah. So
we're hanging out with Bowie, and he showed us that move where you plant your left foot and you do a spin.
They're dancing with David Bowie.
And I'd been on the show like 4 months or something. It was like crazy.
Yeah. Oh, just to set the scene for those of you, Dana isn't wearing any.
Because people are.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not doing a tubin. Yep.
Tubin.
Well, look, I noticed when Howard Stern interviews people, he kind of reorientates things because we get ahead of ourselves. So, David, did you have a favorite celebrity that your first, you went on, like, what was your first
I remember
host?
coming on, I think I did 4 shows before the summer. It was Corbin Burnson, Al Baldwin, Dice Clay, and Candy Bergen. And
so you were there. Oh,
I remember all them, yeah.
I remember totally. Alec Baldwin.
All very nice.
And Alec Baldwin, that Monday meeting, you hear he's there. They go, everyone's going to meet the host. You really don't really know how it works. And I go cram in that room. And he's sitting there in a black turtleneck with black hair combed back and blue eyes. And I'm like, this guy's a fucking stud. Like some people you go, and he's like, how's it going? And then you go, oh, that's a movie star. They screen the movie for you. So I just see Hunt for Red October,
Sure.
walk out, come to work, and then they're all, he's right there. And Sharon Stone was a movie star. Some people, in my head, I thought, that's a star. And some people I thought, it sounds mean, but I go, they got nothing. Like I after read through, I'd go, I go, it's kind of, you know what I mean? I go, it's kind of they got in the right place, right time. Nothing wrong with it, but just they got nothing. And here's a list of those people. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I remember when we did the show in the first 5 years, you had to be a major movie star, and then once in a while they'd have somebody from television. Like Ted Danson hosted, but he was the number one show on air. Remember we had athletes, but they had to be like superstar with Wayne Gretzky and then Joe Montana and Walter Payton.
Yeah.
But you had to be.
The show goes in lulls. I mean, one of my years, the host went from the first lead of like a TV show to like the second lead. You know what I mean? Sometimes they'd book people, and I'm like, Dana and Mike are bigger stars than the host. Or Sandler, you know what I mean? You're going, this person coming in here, I think we're missing the mark a little bit now. Because everyone was getting so big on the show, it was hard to be more famous than
Yeah, I mean, it was Dana. I had to keep acting like humble and like, oh, I'm nothing, you're the big thing.
I was starstruck.
But I knew that next to me, he was just
John. Can I interject a memory, because I think it was so funny. Back to Alec Baldwin being two things about Alec Baldwin. First time he hosted, he goes, "I want to do this." He goes, "You think I want to be on a fucking submarine?" Go, "Aye, aye, sir." Like he didn't want to be in those corporate movies. He wanted to be a sketch player. And then Victoria, because of his crazy blue eyes, and he is incredibly handsome, she goes, "I'm not going to do it. Not this week. I'm not going to do it." I go, "What?" "I'm not going to fall in love with him. Alex, I'm not going to fall." And then by Friday, she go, "I lost. I fell in love with him again." If she sees the eyes, if he locks eyes with her, she falls in love.
If he pays attention to you. One time he was doing a De Niro. And I think it was for Update, and we were behind the stage, live show. And, people do this sometimes, like he was getting pumped up, and then he dropped and did about 15 push-ups right before they came back, because he wanted to get a pump and go out there and look big. Yeah. I love it. I go, that's the shit I love to see. That's something I would have maybe done. I don't know.
And he became a great sketch player, on that show. So he did it.
He was great. Sharon Stone had like a star thing. Beautiful, stunning, comes in. Like basically the ginger music from Gilligan's Island stuff when she walks in. It's like, we go, oh my God. And I just done Police Academy 4 with her. And
did you guys have any sorry, did I interrupt that?
No, it was starting the bomb.
This is one of those things that, tell me if you've had an experience like this. So Chris Everett was the host, and somehow, I don't remember, but we had a scene where we jump on a bed together and we kind of make out, believe it or not. And so that happened, and she came up and she was blushing, and we never really talked about it. It was nothing. It was just pretending. So I'm doing a stand-up date in Hawaii right before 2 years ago. I come out, it's a big giant, there's like maybe 500 people out there at night. I'm coming out. She's in the front row and she goes, "You made out with me on a bed." And it was 30 years later. It's just
and you had her kicked out because she's a heckler?
And then Victoria Jackson was there again. "I'm not going to do it this week. I'm not going to fall in love."
The host, they're there for a week, but it's such an intense experience that they never forget. Like they feel close to you years later. They
Totally.
never forget you. It's only a week.
Speaking of kissing, do you remember Alex first? He got up for an Emmy for that first show, but remember Green Hilly, the sketch? I think it was Jack Handy, where he's like in a Sopra and they look and then the music comes up and he starts kissing Jan, and then he goes over here and the music comes up, he starts kissing the maid, and then he looks over and there's like a puppet in the window and he starts making out with the puppet. It's called Green Hilly. Anyway, you guys, thanks for the deep dive. I don't even know if you guys were there. You guys were in the break room.
So, John, you get on the show, and who were the hosts that first season you were on?
Oh boy,
that you remember?
Well, the very first host was Madonna.
Oh boy,
was
Madonna,
and she was there. She was there for 2 weeks.
Shut up. What do you mean?
She came a week early. And so the first thing I ever did on the show was a short film that I think George Meyer wrote it, and where we're in Central Park, and the scene, well, she's supposed to be driving in the country, and she keeps hearing a sound in her from under her the hood of her car. And when she opens up her hood, I jump out and attack her. And that was the first thing I did. And I remember doing that. And she was dating Sean Penn at the time, and he was watching. And I'm like, oh God, he's not going to like this, me jumping all over his girlfriend. And but she was really nice. And I ended up, I worked with her again, of course, in A League of Their Own. And she worked so hard. You know, people go, who's successful? I go, well, two of the most successful people I know are Madonna and Adam Sandler. And they also work harder. That's all they do all day, every day. They just, they're unbelievable. They just never stop. And she was the host. I remember Danny DeVito, and that was fun. No, that was later. My first year. Oh, Paul Simon. I remember having a sketch with him, and I met him in
Lauren's best friend. And so we all got to see Paul at parties and get to know Paul Simon, which was really cool.
He was very nice.
Hey, Paul.
And who I'm trying to think. God, there was Terry Garr and Tom Hanks. Mm-hmm. And I ended up becoming friends with both of them.
Hey, did you meet Tom Hanks there or on Big?
I met him on when he hosted SNL, and he goes, we went to lunch. And then he goes, you want to lunch? Yes, we went. And he goes, and when I first met him, he goes, I think you know my girlfriend. I go, who's your girlfriend? He goes, Rita Wilson. I go, oh, Rita, of course I know Rita. And she was friends with Robin Schiff, who wrote Romeo and Michelle's that movie. And Robin was in the ground. I was friends with Robin in the Groundlings. We were in the group together, and she was friends with Rita. So I'd met Rita before Tom met her, you know. And I remember one time she came by. She's always really nice. I go, what are you doing? She goes, I got this movie with John Candy and Tom Hanks called Volunteers. I'm going to go shoot it. I go, oh, that's so great.
Is that where they met?
Yeah. And trying to think who. Oh, gosh.
So, but basically, I don't know.
It was 1985. You know.
Hey, John, to set the scene for our listeners.
You're still not wearing pants. Go on.
John, I'm still not wearing pants. John gets on Saturday Night Live in one of a rebuilding year. Let's just put it that way.
No, it was the first. Yeah, but it was the first year that Lorne had come back after being away for 5 years. And
before you, it was Martin Short, Billy Crystal, Christopher Guest year, right? That was successful. Right. And then they brought in Randy Quaid and other people like that were known movie stars.
Randy Quaid.
Yeah.
Anthony Michael Hall, he was 17. Robert Downey Jr., he was 20. Terry Sweeney, very funny guy. Denitra Vance, God bless her soul, great. Joan Cusack, Dennis Miller, and Nora Dunn.
And so tell me what your mind. First of all, you're on the show. Did the show, was it immediately a little shaky? I mean, when did they get a sense of like this wasn't gelling?
What happened was the cast did gel. That's the thing. You go, how can people that talented not gel? Well, we did, but it was after the second show, I did the liar character, my second show. There's 20 shows in this season, and then Robert Smigel, you know, who you all know is a writer, it was his first year in the show. He said, John, this does Triumph the Insult Dog. To set the scene for those of you listening.
for those of you listening, Robert Smigel is a friend of ours.
Hey, this electrician that works at NBC was just in Lauren's office, and he said that liar thing's the funniest thing I've seen in years. So Lauren goes, really? So then Lauren said, we're going to do the liar again. Why don't you write it with A. Whitney Brown? And thank God, because I didn't know what to do with the character after that. So I always give Whitney 50% credit after that. We wrote it together, and he really helped me expand the character. And I learned a lot about writing jokes from Whitney. It was great.
From San Francisco. I did stand up with him for years.
Yeah. And so we did it. But this article came out, I remember, in TV Guide. And it was already our 11th show. And it goes, Saturday Night Dead. It's no good. And the guy was reviewing the first 3 shows. He wasn't mentioning the fact that the whole country by this point was imitating my liar character. And there'd been a lot of sketches that were funny. And so it wasn't a total disaster, but it got slammed so much. So the last show, I didn't know if I was coming back. I didn't know who was they.
Well, just tell people about the fire
No, I am.
thing.
I am.
Yeah.
So the last show, they decided we'll just like make fun of ourselves. So Angelica Houston was the host, and then it was like special guest star Billy Martin, who was the manager of the Yankees, a really nice man, very soft spoken, but he was known as a real hothead too. So anyway, the sketch was that Billy was mad that he wasn't in the show more, so he set the studio on fire, and so that was the sketch. And so Lauren is sending everybody into the room where the fire is. Then I come along and goes, no, John, don't. All the writers were there. And he said, all you writers go into that room. And then I went in. He goes, no, John, wait downstairs for me in my limo. I'm like, oh, all right. And then at the end of the show, they rolled the credits and it had a question mark after everybody's name. And everybody's like in a fire screaming.
And I'm watching that live.
Yeah. And I remember Terry Sweeney the day before was like, he didn't like the sketch. And I said, Terry, it's not a real fire. It's a sketch. It's not real. And then I thought about it and I go, well, what if I was the one being sent into the fire?
You would have cried.
I go, I get why you're upset, but nobody knew who was coming back. And then they said, we want people that you work well with. And I recommended Phil Hartman, Tim Stack, Lynn Stewart, and Tress McNeil from the Groundlings. And so they
did you recommend me or David?
I didn't know either of you, but I do remember.
But still,
our manager Bernie Brillstein and Brad Gray, and when Phil and I met you, Dana, in the office, and we didn't know you, but we met you for the first time. And then when you left, Phil and I go, "Oh, we hope that guy gets the show. He's so nice." You're welcome.
Yes, the late great Phil Hartman, and you. It was funny because I was in awe of the whole thing, and I'm in New York, and I'm just hanging out with you guys, and you guys knew each other very well, so you guys would often do gangster voices back and forth, right? Hey, how you doing? Right?
Yeah, we loved old movies from the 40s. Why for 2 cents? What would you do for a nickel? Just cross that line. You wish I hadn't. You can see us doing that in his audition.
She said to me, Dana, why do they always talk like that? Do they do other things? I think so.
I think so.
Maybe I
But I remember
misremembered that.
you coming into my office and you go, let's write something together. And I'm like, well, what do you do? He goes, I'm going to hitch my wagon to a winner.
Which is
And I'm like, what are you talking about?
I think Handy wrote a sketch with Phil and Dana where Dana was a young punk. I could have played it. And then you take a hostage, and me and Matt Piedmont repeated it to this day where he goes, come on, Johnny, relax, Johnny. No one's going to hurt you, Johnny.
Yeah, I love it. Anything with Johnny. Don't be scared, Johnny. I got your best.
Well, you finally did a sketch in black and white, a spoof at the front page. And I don't remember much about it, but we're all talking like the 40s. But I remember, Dana, your language was, I oughta pound you.
That was in Lauren thought that might be the next catchphrase because I used to do it in my stand-up in the 40s movies. Why I oughta pound you. So I wrote my part. I did it 3 times. And Lauren thought, maybe that's the next thing. We should do another pound you sketch.
Pound you guy.
David, did you have a catchphrase when you came in, or you developed catchphrases later?
Lauren goes, I got one for you. You're fired. And I go, oh, is that a catchphrase? No, I meant, I'm sorry to say it funny. You're fired.
Well, you had bye-bye later in the...
bye-bye. And then
bye-bye.
The only first thing I got that caught on was that receptionist going, and you are. And that was the first time I did a sketch that was like an attitude instead of just jokes. Like I would do jokes on Update from my actor, jokes about going to a concert, and then just jokes about when you're at a concert and how hard it is. Having a younger attitude of like, I go to concerts and I drink. And then Conan was like, you should try to do I always tell him this, I don't know if he remembers, do more of a concept. I didn't even know what that meant for a script. He goes, it doesn't have to be just joke. And then when Patrick Swayze was the host and his handler was waiting by the writer's room on 17, and it was empty, and he was in there. And you're supposed to have access to the host. And I walk out and I start to go in to talk to him, and she stops me and goes, whoa. What, can I help you? And I go, oh, I just want to talk to Patrick. She goes, and you are? And I go, I'm a writer.
There's
and she
the
goes,
catchphrase.
And this is regarding, and I go, oh, I just want to write a sketch. She goes, it's really crazy right now. Maybe you can come back later. And I go, isn't he just sitting there reading People magazine? And then she goes, yeah, it's just really tricky right now. And so I walked away. And then when I went to LA, it happened to me again. And I go, you know what? There's something funny about that. I just don't know if it's a sketch or how to formulate. I think I went to Odenkirk or those guys and said, how do you help me put this together? and it was a 5-1 sketch with MC Hammer. And then the next time it was an opening sketch.
I remember that because I'd been on a few years and I was really doing well on the show. So I would kind of tease the writers, like, because I had a part in that. Yeah, and you are. And in front of MC Hammer, I said to Smigler or somebody, go, well, what do you want? You want a big laugh here? You want an applause break? What do you need? And MC Hammer laughed so hard. He loved the idea of me being that cocky. What do you want? You want a double laugh, a little laugh, then a big laugh, and then another applause break? Anyway, our guest today is Jon Lovitz. Now, Jon,
Wait, I want to say it's weird that you said Conan said to do that because the year before, or forever, they wouldn't let me do it. I had a sketch. It was all my characters are arrogant idiots. So it was the richest man in the world, but he's an idiot. And so he's like,
of course,
well, there's like a boardroom of guy in suits, and I go, well, I'm off to safari. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Right. And then Lauren's, and I kept trying to get on. Lauren goes, you can't do a whole sketch to say goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. And then I snuck it in, and then I snuck it in Tales of Ribaldry at the end. I did, bye, everybody, goodbye. And the whole room cheered. Then the next year I see David going, bye-bye. I'm like, hello. And then I see Conan going, Jon, he just wanted to say goodbye, everybody, goodbye. There was no character. No, it was Mr. Canby, the richest man in the world. And he was, and they goes, he was an idiot, but he just was lucky. So they go, where are you going? Because I'm going on safari. They go, what do we do while you're gone? I go, I don't know, buy Kit Kat. So I leave the room. And then Phil and Whitney are talking about buy Kit Kat. What a moron. You go, yeah, buy Kit Kat, And Phil hangs up the phone. No, Whitney goes, yeah, buy 100 shares of Kit Kat or something. And they're going, he's such an idiot. And then the phone rings and Phil goes, hello, what? You're kidding. What? Kit Kat just went up 300 million.
Oh, I remember this sketch.
And then I come back in, I go, hello, everybody. I forgot my wallet. And they go, Mr. Candy, Kit Kat just went up 300 million. I go, well, you see, buy what you love and you can't go wrong. And Lauren fell out laughing at that.
Well, Lauren's a great investor. He wouldn't put
it on. He wouldn't do it. And then you got bye-bye.
Oh, it never got on because I thought it was funny. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. It's like the thing, you do these nonsensical rhythms that make me laugh. One thing you do, I've seen you in your stand-up, you go, hello, something like, what a night, what a town, what an audience, what is this? And then at the end you go, have you seen the town?
What a town, what a crowd. And have you seen the town?
Yeah, see, that is so silly and doesn't even make sense, but it makes me laugh so hard. Have you seen the town? It just makes, I like madness. But there, you got bye-bye, you got goodbye for goodbye, and I got to go with a funny little Mr. Funny Little Poopy Head. I got to go. That was my.
I'm gonna say what was the point of that sketch anyway?
Well, I thought it might work. Jan, the late great Jan Hooks played Mrs. Funny Little Poopy Head. It was so I could get.
I'm going with him.
And I'm going with him. I love that Lauren would read the stage direction in our read-throughs. And so what I did in the stage direction, I made Lauren say funny little poopy head like 300 times. Funny little poopy head sits down.
No one knew, but I knew. You told me, and I couldn't. I was crying laughing.
Funny little poopy head gets up.
And it was just making fun of catchphrases on our show.
I was making fun of catchphrases, and Lauren knew what I was doing, but yeah,
but he didn't know about the
funny little poopy head. But Lauren has this regal kind of, super smart, funny way of speaking. So to make him say something so stupid, anyway. So Jon Lovitz.
It was one of the funniest things ever.
This is a two-parter. This is for Dana and Jon.
Oh God, this isn't Dana's interview. This is mine. But go ahead.
For those of you who are just joining us,
just to set the scene, Dana's not wearing underwear. David Spade is drunk, and
no one has combed their hair.
I'm having sex with my dog.
I think it was a very interesting story to hear, even if it's a short one, that the movie Bad Boys was for you guys with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. And it was, I don't think that many people know that. I think it's unreal. Is that the year you did the American Express commercial on the Super Bowl? Was that right around then? It was
a few years after that. We did that in like 89 or 90. John and I got offered an American Express commercial, and that was the first year they kept track of them. And ours, I didn't even think it was that good, but it came out number one on the ad meter for some reason.
For the Super Bowl, we were ranked number one.
That was amazing. Yeah.
And I remember we shot it in Miami. New York was so freezing. When we get to Miami, it was so warm. It was so nice.
You're like, there's a movie here. Let's do Bad Boys.
And then the commercial was Amber Smith. She became like a Sports Illustrated model, but she was like
She's
15
gorgeous.
at the time.
Oh, she wasn't 15. Oh, forget
Yeah.
it. So they saw you two were funny together, and then Bruckheimer said maybe do.
Well, they offered Dana the movie first, and then I don't know. Then I got in.
I don't
decided-
remember. It was Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer just wanted to develop something with us, and that's it. It was developed, and I was just too busy. I didn't really, there was so much stuff coming at me at that time. But I'm glad that Will Smith and Martin Lawrence did it and had a great hit with it. I love everybody.
They had 5 sequels.
5 sequels.
A hit and made Will Smith a giant movie star. But hey,
Yeah, that's true.
Well, he also had Independence Day and others, and he has a new book out now. I might
that
as
was
well
the
plug
first one.
it. Yes.
They always
Quit plugging
every time
Will
the
Smith.
Bad Boys. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. Yeah, John Lovitz and Dana. I don't know why they turned it down. I'm like, oh God, fellas, let it go.
Yeah, let it go.
35 years ago.
Okay, John, I have a movie question for you. You did A League of Their Own, obviously huge. City Slickers, huge. Trapped in Paradise, you guys did pretty well. It was all right. I want to get back about how in the new SNL, like Kate McKinnon, I don't think has been on the show this year. And I think you're allowed to come and go as you please now. And you weren't allowed to do a movie. I wasn't allowed to leave to do a movie.
No, I was supposed to do a liar movie in my
changed.
first year of the show, and then with Lauren, and then it didn't happen. Everyone has a different story why, but it didn't happen, and it was very disappointing. So 5 years later, I was going to do A League of Their Own and this movie, Mom and Dad Save the World, over the summer, and then back on SNL. And I was like, perfect, because I'll be on the show with movies. You're trying to build your career, and it was
A double whammy.
amazing thing. So anyway, Mom and Dad Save the World. Big didn't shoot that summer, and then Mom and Dad Save the World had to change their schedule, and so they said they couldn't work around me. So I would have had to miss the first 2 shows, and Lawrence said, no, you can't miss shows. It's not fair to the others. I go, the others? I go, they don't care. They'd be thrilled if I'm not here. They'd be like, more airtime for me,
Yeah, I haven't even met everyone.
and I go, well, it wasn't you guys. It was on the, there's only 8 of us. And then Mike came in the last year for 4 years, basically. And so anyway, I had a decision to make. And then I said, I'm going to leave then. And then Lauren called me and goes, no, John, I don't want you to leave. You're a very important part of the show. I go, well, Lauren, I don't want to leave. I go, but this is opportunities now. My contract's up. Start me in 2 weeks, or start me, or don't pay me. Add them on to the end of the contract, or I'll sign up for 5 more years.
I like that you said you'd sign up for another year or something. Yeah.
No, they offered 2 more years. I mean, to Dana and I, Dana had another year, but it was the same pay, I think. And so it was good, But in hindsight, I should have said to them, I should have had the producer Michael Phillips call Lauren and go, hey, can you work it? And Lauren goes, well, he goes, look, John Belushi and Eckler, they would fly back and forth and do movies. And I said, I'm happy to do that, but they're saying no. And I go, since the other movie didn't happen, I go, can you let me, take this opportunity? It's coming around again, And it's like, I don't know. He said no. So I left, and he was mad at me for years that I left. And then the next year, there was Mike Myers was writing Wayne's World, and Dana goes, oh yeah, he just missed like 10 shows. I go, 10?
Did he miss 10 shows? Really?
And then that year that I left, I would be in New York, and Al Franken would call me and go, hey, you're in town. Can you be in a sketch? I go, okay. So I would do it. And then Dana, of course, would tease me. I don't know. I'm crazy. Maybe I just like being in front of 20 million people a week. But I'm nuts like that. And then I'd be on the show. And then one time Lawrence says, oh, you could have missed shows. I go, what? Let me miss shows. I'd have been here. Because Lawrence said, you can't miss them this year, but you can miss them the next year. I said, but I have the movie now. Maybe, I don't know. What's the difference? But anyway, I understood from his point of view, like, hey, they're hiring you because of this show.
Yeah.
Right. So don't forget that. I didn't think of that, to be honest. It's stupid.
Well, things have changed. It was the 90s. You weren't even supposed to really do commercials. That was considered a sellout. And I'm glad to see SNL cast members doing a lot of ads while they're on the show. I'm envious, and I also think it's great.
No, with Dana, we did the Super Bowl commercial, and then the next year they hired Paul Newman for American Express. He came in third. So then they hired us back the next year, and we're at the writers' room, and Jim Downey, he's making fun of me, like, "Oh, you did that commercial?" He goes, "What'd they pay you? Like, $100,000?" And I just looked at him. I go, "Try a house." And they got really quiet.
A classy one-off.
But we were dead broke when we got the show. You know what I mean? So any amount of money seemed like a ton. I remember my first year in the show, I saved my checks. I went to the bank to deposit $5,000 and I got nauseated because it felt like so much money, because the most I ever had in my bank account in my life was $1,000, once in high school and once when I moved back home after college and saved my money. Wow.
Now 5,000 seems like 4,600 to me. All right, I'll let Dana talk.
Just to set the scene, I'm funny. David and Dana aren't.
Well, let's talk about, I mean, we had stand-up, which is a baseline for your career in a way financially.
Which
it's like being
now.
You can always go out and do stand-up, which is a great thing to have.
But the truth is, I've said to Lauren a million times, thank you for giving me the life I've always dreamed of. And I can't believe I was on the show. The whole time I was on Saturday Night Live, I couldn't say Saturday Night Live. I go, yeah, I'm on Saturday Night Live. I couldn't say live. I never got over the fact that I was there and on it. But I loved it. And just talking about it, it's like I'm right back on it. And every little detail pops in my head. Very intense experience.
I think we're all very thankful that everything really goes back to that. I mean, if you look at the percentages of the, I had a guy come look at my house to help me do it. And he goes, "You have a lot of pictures of yourself." Pictures of yourself. And I go, well, most of those are like old cool ones from SNL. Like I'm doing promos and I've got the paper and I'm pointing at the camera and it's Phil as Clinton with Mick Jagger. Yeah. I mean, they're not on the outside of the house. They're in my fucking, office.
Yeah.
But
shingles.
It's like Lauren in the background, Phil, Mick Jagger, and Luke Perry was a host. And it looks like I'm directing because I got handed promos, which they didn't realize was like a crummy job, but you get to, on Thursdays, go with the host and go with the music, and you get to go down there and deal with them for promos. I'm like, Kurt Cobain, oh, your line is in green. You get to talk to them and interact, and it's kind of fun. And you have to write little dumb promos. But those pictures are around, and I don't really get Saturday Night Live anymore. Like people are like, oh, I saw you on Saturday Night Live, but it's on Peacock now, and they have reruns. So it's a huge part of everything, of course.
You get people saying to you, "I saw your Peacock."
John.
Oh, and time. I just won $5.
Just to set the scene.
Just to set the scene. Do you guys remember Luke Perry?
I remember not wearing any pants.
Luke Perry stood out to me among the 130 shows I did as one of the nicest, most approachable hosts. I just remember really liking him.
And very famous at the time. Huge.
Very, very famous. But he was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and he passed away. But I just remember him being just very approachable and really nice.
Yeah, I'd met him not on the show, but years later. Yeah, he very nice guy. Really nice. In fact, you know what he did? I just remember this. I'd met him. Maybe I'd met him on the show. I wasn't on the show when he hosted, but I met him. And I said, he's on, was it Melrose Place, right? No, Beverly Hills 90210. Mm-hmm. Beverly Hills 90210. He was like the biggest teen thing. So my niece was like 12 or 13. So I said, hey, do you think I could bring my niece to the set to meet you? He goes, yeah, we'll set it up. I go, she'd be like so. And he did. And when she got there, she couldn't believe it. And then
they had sex.
He goes, well, let's take a picture. And he sat her on his lap, and then right when they took the picture, he kissed her on the cheek, and she like turned red, And she came home and she got on the phone. I could hear her screaming to her girlfriend, I met Luke Perry. And it was really great. He knew what it meant. And he was, it was sad that he passed away. He was a very nice guy. Well, we're talking so much about me. Let's talk about you guys. Dana and David, what was the favorite character of mine that you liked?
I like when you were in Benchwarmers. I hear a lot about Benchwarmers. Do you, John?
Yeah.
Benchwarmers is great.
Benchwarmers is just one of those movies that just made you feel good. It was just kind of fun, light vibe to it.
Dana, what is it about me that you admire the most?
And then ahead, David. You can go. I don't know if anything comes to mind. I like when you sing opera.
Your funniness. We have a puppet? Okay.
Is that Yoda? So, Lovitz, you have a great singing voice. I think when you're on the show, singing really helps. Dana can sing chopping broccoli. You can sing.
That was Dana chopping broccoli.
Right, but John has a great singing voice, like a big voice. That's another one of your attributes. But
would you like me to sing for you now?
Yes. I know it's going to happen right now. Jesus, you blew out the Zoom. I mean,
oh my God, the ratings just spiked up.
Everybody loves somebody sometime.
What was the Tales of
Tales of Ribaldry? John Bowman and Christine Zander wrote it. That was one of those sketches that was.
What does it mean?
It was so well written. You had to raise yourself to the level of the sketch. A lot of sketches weren't funny, and Lauren would yell at me, goes, "It's your job to make them funny." I said, "Well, I can't make a rose smell like shit." I had that line all prepared for him. And he goes, "No," I go, I can't make shit smell like a rose." And he goes, "That's your job." You had a great
relationship with your boss.
To be funny. So I said, "Okay, so fine. So you're telling me," because my first year on the show, I did this sketch, and Al Franken and Jim Downey, who I love, are giving right before the sketch, are telling me to do two completely opposite things.
Oh, listen to Downey.
Two opposite notes. And I'm like, what do I do? So Lauren said, fuck the writers. I hired you to be funny. That's your job. I said, okay, so you're telling me if the writers tell me to do something a certain way and I think they're wrong and I don't think it's funny, I don't have to do it? He goes, right. I go, okay. So many times, like, Al, go do it like this. I'm like, nope.
Jeez.
I'm not having Lauren yell at me again. And then I would do the sketch on air, and then Al would run up and hug me. I go, that was so great. I go, wow, that's what I've been talking about all week. Can we just like, and that would happen over and over.
Do it this way.
The Tales of Ribaldry, they wrote it so well that I had to really work that. You had to like raise yourself to the level of it. And then I did something on air, which I think I rarely did, which I know Dana did all the time. When you did George Bush was, you just go, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to like riff on it and add little moments. And it's like you're improvising on air. So when they would, I knew they'd be cutting back to me, and in my head, I'm like, what am I going to do? So one time they cut back, I went, they're fighting, and the two women are fighting. And I went, wow,
Let me ask you guys a question. Did you do this thing when it's a commercial break and everyone's running around, you're getting ready for a sketch or a cold opening? So the audience is seeing you in your makeup, whatever you're wearing, you're going on the stage. I always tried to get them to understand that I was loose or try to signal something funny. Because a lot of times when the cold opening starts, you hear a laugh right before it starts. And that's because it's like 5 seconds, Joe, just 5 seconds. And then if you signal to the audience that you're being playful, it seems like it gives you a leg up. It definitely relaxes me a little bit. If you get a laugh before it starts. Did you do that?
Or like they go 5 seconds, then you go, I'm not ready. Or you go, places everyone. Then they laugh before they come onto the broadcast.
That's it. Yeah.
And then they laugh and they like you already. And then they're ready to go.
I never did that because I'm professional.
Huh. And how?
I don't need to get them laughing before the sketch starts. I know I'll be funny.
Save it for the stage.
Save it for air.
We should explain what this is. This is John and I teasing each other for years, where it was just doodle-doodle-doodle-doo. It's a thing that I would do for some reason. Conan does it every time I talk to him. Doodle-doodle-doodle-doo. It's like
Dana, we did a sketch with Robert Wagner when he hosted, and we did that with him. One of the funniest things in the show is an important part of the show was Dana and I, as you know, we would always talk about. In fact, it was Dana going, we got to talk. Right? He goes, we got to talk about how competitive it is, and we're friends, but we're competing against each other. And I go, I know. He goes, well, let's talk about it and get it in the open, because make really it funny. Close friends. And I go, you're right, And I go, well, it's just the way it is, So let's just be careful that it doesn't, harm our friendship, because we're friends, but we're competing, and that's just the way it is. But anyway, it was funny. So one time one of the best hosts, everyone was so excited, was William Shatner. I remember Dennis Miller at read through, he'd always be kind of, grumpy, because he wasn't in a lot or whatever. And I go, Dana, and he goes, why aren't I in any sketches? I go, Dennis, you got to hang out all night. You're not here. Like, hang out, participate on Tuesday night. When we write it, you'll get in more. But anyway, so, he didn't have a lot to do at read through. So he would just, he'd be a little grumpy. So when William Shatner hosted, I looked around, even Dennis, everybody had the biggest smile on their face. And Dennis was beaming. And we're like, I remember I'm sitting next to, on my left is William Shatner and Dana's on my right. We're like, it's Kirk. It's Star Trek. We were just thrilled. And I learned how to do the show from him. He made it look so easy. But also that show, Dana would come up to me, John, what? I'm in 3 sketches. That's where 3.
No, didn't I play 3 characters in the Star Trek restaurant scene? I did Khan. I played an ensign. I don't remember.
I don't know, but you were going 3. Not competitive. I'm in 3 sketches. And William Shatner hosted the show. He made it look so easy. I go, how do you do that? He goes, just do it. And so, and one time, the Star Trek sketch, I go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm trying to figure out how to play this, the scene. The part. I go, but how to play the part? Aren't you Kirk? You forget, no, he's an actor. But anyway, the next week I thought, all right, well, what are they? Because they would get you all riled up and tense every week. And did you do this? Did you do that? Constantly. So I just said, well, what do they ask me to do? I walk in a door and then I stop behind the couch and then I say something. I go, so walk and talk. I simplified it to that. So I'd come in, walk in. Hey, you guys want to get something to eat? Right. That was it. So I did the show that way without putting any stress on myself. And I thought for sure I wouldn't be funny. And after the show, I thought, well, I wasn't less funny and I wasn't more funny. I was the same. And I remember thinking, what have I been putting myself through every week? And after that, the show it became very relaxed to do, especially when I had like one line or two. So I remember one time there's 10 of us in a line and Mike Myers is in front of me and he's all tense because they're getting him. And I'm like, as loose as pie. I just couldn't give a shit. And I tapped Mike on the shoulder. He's like, what? I go, Mike, what are you looking at me for? Pay attention to the scene. He's like, stop it.
Just teasing him. Yeah. Everyone we've talked about this is like, it takes time.
It's so easy. You just walk and go, hey,
Well, I think you get confident, the audience discovers you, and then you get playful, and then they sense it, and it builds on itself. You see it with cast members now. It usually takes a few seasons, unless your name is Eddie Murphy or something. Had such confidence at 19. That's yeah, mysterious to me how brilliant he was at 19. But most people it would take 2, 3, 4 years of seasons to get really comfortable. Anyway, I'm also. It took me
I was nervous, but my first sketch, I was really nervous. And
why wouldn't you be
watching? And then I went, oh wait. Oh, the West Coast isn't watching. That crossed.
So you were relaxed.
No, now, I go, that's 10 million less. But now the whole country watches it at once. But during that show, there was a sketch from Madonna and I were Prince Charles and Diana. So you have cue cards, right? So anyway, we're doing the sketch on air, and she accidentally said my lines, off the cue card and said hers. So all of a sudden, I went, oops. And all my experience kicked in from, doing plays in high school and 4 years.
So you took your pants off?
College, doing 21 plays in the Groundlings. And I took her line and turned it around and then to my line. And all of a sudden I went, oh, and then, the focus wasn't on me. It was on the sketch, David.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history. I remember doing Toonces the Cat, where you're in the car and the cat's the driver. It was a Jack Handy sketch. And Victoria and I, again, Victoria, but she was so funny to me. We have giant cue cards and she's not saying her line. So you have to kind of kick the person. I'm kind of like kicking her and no one can see. Anyway.
You're like, oh, am I up? You're like, you have 2 lines, get them.
But she was incredibly charming and funny when I was on the show. Victoria. Yeah.
By the way, I never told you this, Dana, but I was in Toonces the Cat. You
were the cat.
You were?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, the makeup was extraordinary.
Called acting. Yeah. You thought I was a puppet?
All right, boy. Got to look at where the time's gone.
I just wanted to give you a chance to, John became a stand-up maybe 20 years ago now, 18 years ago. So John Lovitz plays all over the country, and he's out there doing stand-up. He's a great stand-up.
Very
John?
funny, obviously.
Yes, I started where I would host shows by Kevin Nealon and Victoria would do 20 minutes, and Norm Macdonald. And then I would open for Norm, and then co-headline, and then I started doing it. But I would do that for, remember you, David, and you, Dana, and Dennis Miller did a show once. I hosted that.
Yeah.
And I love doing it. But Dana, I wouldn't. Dennis Miller is the first one. He goes, "You should be a stand-up." I used to do Woody Allen and Lenny Bruce's routines in my dorm, and he brought me to Catch a Rising Star in like '85, and I just bombed as I didn't know what I was doing. But Dana always said you could do a stand-up, and Dana, you know, I always credit you. You saved me years with your tips on how to be a stand-up. So I owe you a big part of that stand-up career. I don't know, David. I don't.
Well, that's very nice. I'm glad, but I when I meet people who
David,
are funny,
I owe a round of golf.
It's only a matter of, well, you bench warmers, you guys should have been starting varsity as far as
Bench warmers is great. I love bench warmers.
Absolutely.
Number 7.
I like any movie where you talk
Quiet,
like
number 7.
Quiet. So funny. Quiet is always
But
funny.
you guys are great stand-up, so it's an honor to be a part of that fraternity. But it's been a lot of a lifesaver, and I feel like I always wanted to do it. I used to do Woody Allen and Lenny Bruce's routines in my dorm.
Yeah.
And right after college, I went to a workshop at the Comedy Store in '79, and they go, "They're not hiring stand-ups for sitcoms." And I go, "Oh, so I guess I'll skip that step," you know. But I started.
It's portable, and you can do it. You can go away from it for a while, come back to it.
I love it.
Nice
I love like Saturday Night Live, writing and performing my own material, and that's what I love best about SNL. One of the you guys, the people, the comedians.
Okay, David has a question or a summation.
Just to set the scene, this is David and Dana's podcast, and David has a question.
You're listening to John Lovitz, David Spade, and Dana
I think
Farfel.
my mic
Dana
is
Carvey.
barely on, but I will say this. Dana, when I started, I don't know if this is with you. Maybe it's still. Stand-ups were looked down upon for acting and sitcoms and everything because they were thought of as selfish and couldn't interact with others. So on SNL, like Groundlings and all those people and sketch players, Second City, were a priority because they had more faith they could do sketches. And with us, you've seen comics that get their own show or something, it just doesn't work. And then you hear the low, quiet whisper, they can't act, and that's brutal. So I think when I started, they're like, "But Kenny," and the first audition I had, they said I can't act, and I couldn't. I didn't know, but I had to go to 2 years of intensive training.
Where who? I have never heard you say that.
Oh, really?
You studied acting with who?
Why do you think I'm so great at it?
You are great at it, but who did you study with?
Sandy Meisner?
I was like, I went to Roy London's class, but he was full. I think Brad was in there. Maybe you were in there. And then I went to
Roy London.
I went to Ivana Chubbuck, and she was
the late great Roy London
teaching for Roy as his understudy, and then she got huge in her own way because Roy passed away, and then she was doing it. But I took it. Schneider took it. I had this is quickly. Then I got to go, you guys. I can't do this all day. But
You're getting paid, for Christ's sake. I'm not.
I thought we were splitting this.
You're getting a gift basket with fresh fruit, chocolates, and white wine.
I don't have time for this. I'm doing it for free.
You know how you tip the bottle.
Anyway, David, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I think you did, but I did. I came out and I thought I was like Eddie Murphy because you feel like you don't need lessons. I thought it was naturally funny, and so I do auditions. And then Lee Grant, you wouldn't know this, but she's a famous actress. She's a director, and she was doing a movie, and she needed a kid to play 17. And she goes, "You're 20?" And she saw me at the Improv. She goes, "You could play this in 2 seconds. It's the lead in a movie, and I'm just going to give it to you. Just come to the house, read a few lines, and I'll go in there with you, and we got our movie." And I was so excited, and I read the scene with her, and I could see in her eyes. She goes, "Do it again. Hang on, just do it again." And I do it again, and she goes, "Oh, I can't use you." I was like, "Oh my God, why?" She goes, "You're kind of just performing it. You're not really acting. You're just trying to get laughs." And I'm like, I know, but, and she's like, I can't. She goes, go take some classes because you'll be great, but you just got to work. And I go, but I'm still doing the movie, right? She's like, no, I can't. It was such a heartbreaker.
No, but here's the thing she should have said when she said, I can't use you. And you're like, why? Because da-da-da. She goes, okay, you know the way you're talking to me right now? You go, yeah. He goes, read it like that. Don't perform. Read it like you just talked to me right now. That's what she should have said. And then you would have read it like that. She goes, okay.
I know. She didn't want to take time. So anyway.
No, that took 2 seconds. Doing stand-up is, I remember someone said that they said, Jerry Seinfeld said it's a dialogue. It's not a monologue. Like people learn it like a monologue, like an actor in the beginning. And I thought, yeah, isn't that what you do? And he's like, no. And they said, no, he said, it's a dialogue between you and the audience. And I thought, how could it be a dialogue? I'm the only one talking. And then I realized, because it's like I'm talking to you guys now and you're listening going, it's that. So I go, instead of you're talking to audience, you're talking to one guy and whatever you react. It's not that complicated. People do it all the time. It's just practice.
Anyway, John, you've been a pleasure.
I think, David, you're a very good actor, by the way. Especially in The Wrong Missy.
Oh, yeah. Were you in The Wrong Missy or no?
No, I was supposed to be, but you cast someone else.
Oh. You were supposed to be in Just Shoot Me, remember?
Yeah, another thing. Bad Boys, Just Shoot Me. Home Alone.
We all should have done stuff. Oh, yeah, Home Alone, too. Shit.
Well, maybe. They wanted to meet with me really bad, and I go, it's a kid's movie. I don't want to be second fiddle to some kid. Then it begins the biggest comedy in the history of motion pictures. So then I said, I'll meet on the second one. And they go, no, the director, Chris Columbus, says, no, you wouldn't meet on the first one, so he won't meet you now. I go, did I hurt his movie?
Well, in fairness, a movie about a 10-year-old, you just don't know if it's going to be funny. You just don't know.
The script was funny, but I didn't think I could play the part. Because it was very reactive and
of a doofus.
I'm not good at like.
And that was Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci, or they were the second one.
Daniel Stern part. I'm not good at like making faces. And
I have faith you could play it too big.
I don't know what to do. I mean, I just did it now, but.
Well, it's a cartoon, basically, kind of. Oh, there he is. All right,
bye.
Fly on the Wall has been a presentation of Cadence 13.
Please listen, then rate, review, and follow all episodes.
Executive produced by Dana Carvey and David Spade, Chris Corcoran of Cadence 13, and Charlie Finan of Brillstein Entertainment. Production and engineering led by Greg Holtzman, Richard Cook, Serena Regan, and Chris Basil of Cadence 13.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I hope you enjoyed the podcast this week. Thanks for watching. This is our final day in Los Angeles. I'm very ready to go home to my couch to do the podcast, but also to play video games and take a nap. I love to nap on that couch. That's what you don't know. Where all those people sit down and talk to me, I nap. I put my face right where their butts were. But go to dansoder.com. We announced a bunch of new dates. This week, this Friday and Saturday, I'm going to be at the Omaha Funny Bone. 4 shows, bringing Sagalo. It's going to be unbelievable. Then if you live in Key West, Florida, June 1st and June 2nd, I'm going to be at Comedy Key West. It's unbelievable. The ticket link is up at dansoder.com. It's going to be just a Monday, Tuesday show, but I'm excited to come to Key West and, hang out. Do this hour before we record it and also kind of fuck around. And then June 5th, New Jersey Performing Arts Center. There are limited tickets left. This is the last theater show before we record the Netflix special. dansoder.com for all those dates. Go get your dates. Thank you for coming out to shows. They've been so fucking fun. Netflix is a Joke was awesome. Thanks for coming to the movie watch along. That was unbelievable. This is you guys fucking rule, and I can't thank you enough. And I'll see you on the road. Do you like the Netflix is a Joke festival being in LA?
I
almost this like it becomes Frost Nixon.
I like not having to travel. I wish that they would do they're slapping their name on everything, and if you put your name on every show, then by definition they're not special.
Yeah.
Like have less shows and really do the thing. Do it. It'd be really cool to do a combination of you have these great big names doing huge shows, and that's awesome. But as much light as you put on those, really give people the opportunity and make it seem like a special thing to here are names you have never heard before, and you're going to get to see them here. And really push that. Like that is what is always, because that always ends up being the exciting thing down the line when they look back and go, at the same night that person A was at the Hollywood Bowl, person B, who is now person A, was in front of 20 people. Like that's always exciting.
I completely agree with you that you almost kind of become a part of like comedy history, almost like almost like a sports draft, where you're like, I went and drafted a show in the third round, and it ended up becoming one of the biggest guys in the world.
That's a fucking great way to put it.
Yeah.
Think of it as a sports draft. I took a risk on one of the smaller ones, and it was amazing.
And I went and got this thing. I would say the way I would instantly fix Netflix's A Joke Festival is passes. That's what makes a festival. So buy a...
That's
where you
also
get
great.
A level, you get one A level headliner, then you get like 5 B level, you know what I mean? Make it like a system where you're not just going to Chappelle and Shane and Nate, but you're going to like Chappelle and then maybe an like our show at the Improv, where you are seeing me and you for Absurd Ventures.
Exactly.
That way, no one has to shit blood about ticket sales. The way that every single comic for this festival.
We are all. It's like there were days where I was like, because I was originally going to do a show at the Wilshire E-Bell, and then I looked at the other people. And I'm like, can I just host something?
Yeah.
So I don't need to. And then so I hosted the Pee Wee's Playhouse 40th anniversary at the Greek, which was great. The pressure was off me, but part of me was like, are there people in a C-suite watching us fight like gladiator fights? Like who's going to get, like, because we're all scrambling. And also, we're doing it in this year where nobody has any money.
I know.
Everybody's broke.
And they just go, so what would you do? It's like, it's the food from Hook, where they're going like, imagine a budget.
Yes.
If you imagine a budget and then it appears. I will say what Netflix's A Joke Festival does better than any other comedy festival in existence is the amount of industry that is lurking everywhere. Yeah. It's just it's a industry fest where you turn around and it's guys in fleeces.
But it's not. Here's what sets it apart from the Aspen Comedy Festival. It's industry.
R.I.P. I wish I would have got to do.
The Aspen Comedy Festival, God bless them, it really was more of a, our execs get to have a ski trip. And the comedy was almost like the third thing on the menu.
Did you, when you were doing that festival, because I mean, I'm joking that about the industry. It's just shows, and then there's people are there. So this is a fun festival for shows.
But this is a way better industry showcase.
Yeah,
because the industry's home
and they're comfortable.
And they're like, I'll go see some shows.
But my question to you is, when you were doing Aspen, like, there's like a certain like shine and glittery when you go to a festival and you're figuring it out. How quickly did you put together this is a fucking ski trip for HBO execs?
Oh, that didn't take long at all. But what was great was we all knew that, so the comedians themselves were like, well, let's make this a party for ourselves.
That's what I wanted to know.
So the all-night partying that went on, especially up in the oxygen-deprived atmosphere. Oh. So I remember I walked back from a show with Chris Farley.
Okay.
This was like 2 a.m. in Aspen, and it's just freezing cold, and everyone's hammered, and people are coming out of bars, and they're seeing Chris, and it's like walking down the street with a pope, because oh my God, it's Chris Farley, and he's grabbing people and throwing them into the snow, and people are buying them drinks, and so like it became this weird mobile party going down the streets of Aspen. It was just incredible. Yeah, it was gorgeous. So
almost like they were getting mauled by a party yeti. Like they'd come out and he'd be like,
party yeti.
He'd be like, like the same excitement of seeing a yeti. It's because it's Chris
Farley. Throw me in the snowbank. And also these, again, it's all super rich, coked out Aspen residents.
So they go, oh my God, I've seen you before. Toss me. And I won't press charges.
And I'm so drunk, none of my nerve endings are sending any pain signals. So this is the time to do it.
Oh, what
so he was just throwing people into fire hydrants and stuff. It was amazing.
Yeah, that has got to be very fun. What is as a someone that grew up in Colorado, was a Colorado resident.
You did?
Yeah, I grew up in Aurora, Colorado.
Okay.
The altitude thing's very funny because it affects people in ways that will make a white guy that is perma in denim feel like a Sherpa in Nepal. Where
Yes.
the way that you help people, where you're like, this man needs water.
Yes.
This man needs a place to lay down.
This man is dizzy. I've seen the signs.
You know-
He's in the early stages. Well, because the residents, they've adjusted to the oxygen.
Well, you have the barrel chest.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what they say. They say if you develop in Colorado, your rib cage actually is wider so that your lungs can expand more to take more oxygen in. I think it's called a Colorado barrel chest, but I know it's also called just a barrel chest.
Oh, because a Colorado barrel chest is a different thing where I come from.
That's a sex
it
move?
will cost $75, and
And she goes, and I won't do it
yeah.
without someone in the room.
and it involves at least 2 divorcees. It doesn't matter male or female. That's what but they have to be divorced for some reason.
But it does.
Colorado
But
barrel chest.
it does really feel like.
Well, it's where the Olympians train.
Yeah, in Colorado Springs.
Yeah,
so
man.
when I would have friends visit me, or like when I would bring like a girl I was dating from New York, and we
Mm-hmm.
would go back to Colorado to meet my family or whatever, I would always be like, "Hey, number one, my mom's family's very fun.
Yeah.
They're very fun. You're gonna want to drink with them."
Don't.
I'm telling you right now, it was
Mm-hmm.
like I couldn't have given more of a crossing the river into a jungle country speech to these people. When I go, it will get dangerous. I will be there for you, but there's not much I can do after a certain point.
Yeah.
And then they start drinking and you go, you're gone.
We're
You're
done.
just-
Yeah. I had one too many one night at a show in Aspen, and it was it was one of the few times where I just admitted on stage, like, yeah, I can't hide how drunk I am right now. And it was, I wasn't drinking my normal amount to get me drunk, but I'm in Colorado,
Yeah.
so it takes less, and I didn't factor that in.
Yeah.
And so there was just this, I drank too much, guys. I'm sorry.
Man, admitting that on stage for people who don't do comedy, you have to understand it's like you're telling your boss you're drunk. That's the equivalent of you working at an office.
I know you paid money, but I didn't really show up for work today. I'm not really.
If you just went into his office and you go, "Can I tell you something right now? I didn't adjust to this altitude of the office, and I'm pretty fucked up right now. I don't know if this meeting's going
You
to go
might
good."
not want me on the forklift this afternoon.
You might not want me to
And
meet
probably not the
with.
best idea.
I know the Swiss buyers are here. I would not put me in the room with them. I'm gonna want to ask them for chocolate, and because I'm drunk and I really want chocolate.
Okay, Swiss. I was in Amsterdam, my first time in Amsterdam. Yeah, baby. And I went to a coffee shop. I went to a lot of coffee shops to get stoned during the day.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But
Shout
I
out
went
to Bulldog Cafe.
The Abraxas Cafe for me.
Yeah.
And shout out to Lucky Mothers, which was recommended to me by David Cross.
Awesome.
He was like, go to Lucky Mothers. And they were one of the last, this is in the late 90s. They were one of the last places that would put weed in food.
Okay.
They were like, we can roll you a joint, make you tea, or we put it in food for you. Put it in a candy bar or a cookie. And I went, yeah, put it in a candy bar. So they gave me a Snickers bar.
Okay.
Which I guess they sliced the top off, put all the marijuana, put the thing, shape the chocolate back on, and just a Snickers bar full of weed.
Great.
Now, I didn't know you're supposed to nibble that over the course of a week.
Oh, it's a dosage.
It's a ding, ding, ding.
It's
So
like getting pills from a pharmacy and just going, "I'll just take
So
this
I
whole
should
thing."
take the whole bottle?
They go, "Absolutely not.
So-
Please don't do that."
I walked around the rest of the day and I finished my Snickers bar, and then I had a show that night. And here's what was weird. I could do my material. I was not slurring. I could speak perfectly fine. I could not physically open my eyes.
No way.
So I did my set. I was like, guys, and I was like, listen, I went to Lucky Mothers and I bought a Snickers bar and I ate the whole Snickers, and I should not have.
Yeah.
And I can't open my eyes right now. I'd love to do my material for you. And the audience reaction was like, oh yeah, we've seen this.
Yeah.
Like American, they came over, they ate the whole bar.
They probably have a goofy Dutch word for it, like you did an Openstugen, oh, you Openstugen, yeah, that's the noise.
Openstugen.
The Openstugen's the noise.
Whenever they see that they have to drink, Openstugen.
Openstugen. I had a train conductor. This happened too. I know. And the guy was running a train.
Yeah.
There is.
I could not open my eyes.
Did you? Now here's my question. In that moment,
Yeah.
did you go for the sunglasses? Please, does anybody have a sunglasses?
No.
'Cause
I
then
wanted to own it. I was very
I
much.
respect that.
I am. I was really. That was the point where I was really coming into be completely honest on stage, even when it's embarrassing as shit. Like, absolutely say whatever you're doing.
I'm hitting that stage right now.
Yeah, when you're just like, oh fuck, I did a set last night at the Last Bookstore, another Netflix is a joke store,
and it's
joke.
And
it was, and by the way, place was fucking to the walls packed.
That's
it was
awesome.
Amazing. And I did a joke that is on my new special. This is, by the way, I know you've experienced this. This is gonna make you cinch up when I say it. I have this joke, recorded it onto my special. The special's coming out. It's recorded. Did it last night. In the moment, thought of a whole new, better tag for it. A whole new, better punchline.
So he's one of my producers on my upcoming Netflix special. There's 2 bits that I fucking know.
Yep.
The second I record them at the Throckmorton, the second the shows are over at the Throckmorton, and I go do a random show.
Yep.
I'm going to figure out the thing I've been trying to figure out.
I did last night.
Oh,
And
my God. That makes me angry for you.
And I stopped and said, I go, my special is coming out on June 9th, and I'm letting you know, you just heard a punchline to a bit. It will not be that funny on the special because I didn't think of it till just fucking now.
Yeah.
And then I got so angry, I said, now, out of anger, I will never do that punchline again. You are the only people to fucking hear it.
That's pretty cool.
Like, I'm just giving it to you.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it like,
I don't know. That is proof to me that there is an intelligence higher than us that enjoys watching us have moments like that.
Yes.
Because you go, every time.
And by the way,
every time
I've recorded an album or special, and then I tour on it until it comes out. Because you can tour it for a couple months.
Yeah.
At least 3 new punchlines where I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
So this is something when I'm, obviously you still tour after you tape, and then you get tags, and then sometimes you get new ideas from bits, and then you're like, well, I can't because I just did that whole bit. But a feeling that I'm looking forward to is I love my closer. Mm-hmm. It's very personal. I like it. I'm so ready to be done doing it.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, I am ready for a conscious uncoupling from this closer. Like, I don't want a bad divorce. It's not going to be messy. I appreciate everything it's done. Mm-hmm. I'm just ready to
amicable. Go on your way. I'll always love you.
I will leave you in the mists of Mill Valley. I will not.
The mist of Mill Valley.
I will not see you.
Oh my God! You're leaving it beyond the rainbow tunnel.
That's what it is.
It is beyond. Hey, what happened to that bit you did? It's beyond.
It's beyond. You must go through the Robin Williams tunnel. I'll tell you. Yeah. My first time driving back through Marin after Robin Williams had died, and because I always knew that tunnel when I was a kid. It always, you've known it. You were in San Francisco in the 90s,
early 90s.
That rainbow was always there.
Always.
The rainbow was always over the bridge north of San Francisco, just past Sausalito. And when I was driving up to my grandmother's house, and I took that corner off the bridge, and it said the Robin Williams Tunnel, it was like someone fucking punched me in the chest. I was driving through a tunnel being like, bah! Like, it just he's fucking ripped me up.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that every now and then you're like, oh, wait, he's dead?
Yeah, that does suck.
Why is he gone?
It really does suck.
What the fuck did he... Yeah, so...
And it was also like, you knew that was such a big loss, because people don't make a big enough deal of this at the time, but Robin Williams died in 2014.
Yep.
2014. And ISIS made a statement. Do you remember that?
No.
Mike, can you look it up? ISIS, and by the way, we're talking about ISIS at its peak. We're talking about Zeppelin 4 ISIS. We're talking about Stone 72 fucking ISIS. Like, they're at the peak of their ISIS, and they literally, their PR guy, whoever the PR guy is, it always reminds me of Michelle Wolf's joke about ISIS, about there's a guy that makes the flag in ISIS.
Yeah,
and it's
that's right.
But there's also a PR guy, and he released a statement. You found it? Dude, it's
real.
It's real. It's 100% real. Hey guys, Cash App just released a new status program for the way people actually spend called Cash App Green. It unlocks new ways for you to pay, get rewarded, and easily grow or manage your money on your terms. Now, when you spend at least $500 a month with the Cash App card or Cash App Pay, you earn green status. Cha-ching, which unlocks benefits like up to $200 off, free overdraft coverage, which who doesn't want that? Higher borrower limits, and custom personalized cashback offers every Friday at places you love to shop. For a limited time, new Cash App customers can earn $10 if they use the code CashApp10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. Terms apply. Cash App is a financial service platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Cash App Green, overdraft free. Borrow cashback offers and promotions provided by Cash App, a Block Incorporated brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosure. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Listen, this world is tough to live in. You have a human brain and there is the internet. You are going to go through it. Probably want to talk to somebody, because when you talk to somebody, what they can do is tell you what you're thinking, how you're feeling, and maybe how to do it better, or maybe how to think about your thoughts better. I don't know. I'm just saying therapy has really helped me, and it could probably help you, and you don't have to be on this journey alone. Find support and have someone with you in therapy. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/Soder. That's better, HELP.com/Soder. The show is sponsored by BetterHelp. So following the death of actor and comedian Robin Williams in August of 2014, several individuals identifying as ISIS militants or supporters on Twitter at times made statements. Some militants shared a fondness for his work, with one user calling themselves a Jumanji jihadi. And that's got to be fake.
That's fake.
That's fake.
Yeah.
But I
you know what? Can I say
seeing,
something? I think that was probably Jim Norton.
Yeah.
Feels that's probably Jim Norton doing
funny.
that. Yeah.
He goes, yeah.
But by the way, I'm sure there were guys like America should burn and the ashes should be salted forever. But the genie in Aladdin is so delightful.
But
please.
Mrs. Doubtfire,
when the breasts are on, when they catch on fire, but when the breasts are on fire, he should not be in a dress. Why is he in a dress? He's a man. He's great.
So just recently, embarrassingly, we're talking about all things that are embarrassing. Yeah. I have really learned how psychologically tied and tormented I am by the movie Mrs. Doubtfire.
Really?
It was on. We pay for the pay channels. We got HBO. We got Showtime.
I spend.
That's right. I spend the money.
Listen, I got a Netflix special now. I can afford some streaming.
Listen, I got to see what's going on out there. I got to keep my thumb on the market. But Mrs. Doubtfire was on because it was just like I will doom scroll and I will watch like BBC News and get like a lot of anxiety. Mm-hmm. But now what I'm doing is I'm putting on the movie channels just as background noise, and I'm stopping I watched like Meteor Man the other day.
Meteor Man is a weirdly underrated movie. Weirdly underrated. It's actually kind of a really funny riff on superheroes.
Yes.
Robert Townsend doesn't get the flowers he deserves.
Robert Townsend did a black superhero movie that holds up pretty fucking great.
Pretty fucking good.
And I had a good time watching Meteor Man.
Yep.
But then something rolled into Mrs. Doubtfire, and Katie came home from work, and she just noticed how much of a lock this movie had on me. Oh, yeah. Because I've been starting to realize I loved that movie. My dad was from the Bay Area. My dad always, Robin Williams was a hero. His name was Daniel. There's just a lot of connections.
Okay.
He fought to be in his kid's life.
Yes.
That's the whole underlying point of the movie is he'll do anything to be with his kids. Watching that as someone whose dad had zero interest being with his kids. I did not realize why I liked that movie so much.
Yeah.
And I'm uncovering it in a way that is very uncomfortable with my fiance watching me watch it, and she goes, "Oh, this movie fucked you up." And I was like,
Yeah.
Because you go, I didn't know. That's why I liked it.
Yes, it is weird as you get older, and then you look at something that you were growing up on that you liked for this one reason. And you see it again and go, oh no, there's a whole other thing that had me. I didn't realize
such a sadder reason.
Yeah.
I thought I liked it because he did voices and it was Robin Williams.
Yes, but then you watch it when you're like, oh, there's way more.
He cared about his children.
Yeah.
Much so.
Again, yes, it's a very popular movie. It's one of the all-time families love to watch it. But there is a weirdly dark, complex, he is a fuck up as a husband.
He's a horrible husband.
And a fuck up as a provider, but loves his kids anyway. And so it's like, how do I do this And
my dad had all, like, Robin Williams, horrible husband, horrible provider, could be a horrible father, but is not. My dad hit all three of those.
Oh,
we hit the parlay on my dad. But on that one, the one that didn't hit was that he cared so much about his kids that he's willing to, and I will say this, deceive it's such a movie where you go, how did they pull this off? Because this could look real bad.
And there's cut scenes that you can find on YouTube where it was originally a much darker film.
See, that's what I mean.
But all that darkness is now underneath it. They just didn't put it in there blatantly.
Yeah,
because Robin was. I mean, I wasn't friends with him, but we hung out a lot, especially right in his final years. We kept running into each other at Meltdown on Sunset because he's a big comic book guy.
Yeah.
So every Wednesday.
Was he really?
Oh, yeah. And then we would call each other and go, okay, what are you reading? Well, I just picked up this guy, Robert Kirk. He turned me on to a writer named Robert Kirkman. He goes, anything you see Robert Kirkman's name on, you grab it and start reading it.
Would it be weird when you're like talking about like Planet Hulk and he's like, oh, but then he fights? Like, would he do like Robin stuff? Or would he be like, and you think Thor's not going to make it out, but Son of Scar, he's pretty good. Red Hulk,
The thing that always... there's so many tragedies to Robin Williams not being here, but one was that, when you would hang out with him, he would do a little bit of the Robin stuff, and then he would just talk about his life and how insane his career was, and he never got to do like an amazing one-man show where he just talked about, because his stories were so fascinating, and he was such a not just brilliant storyteller, but tell a story and then give you an insight into it where he's like, I know that I approached the story this way, and then it took me, like we were just saying about Miss Doubtfire, and then I looking at it this way, and you're like, fuck, that's right. And he never got to do that.
Yeah, that would have been...
Why didn't he get to do that?
I think everyone, we were joking around, me and DeRosa were joking around this about last night, like, he was talking about Regan, and he was like, Regan, do one final thing where you just like, Joe DeRosa said, he told Regan, he's like, just do a special called cunt, and just do like, it was so funny. I love DeRosa, but we were also saying that about.
I'm sorry, I just had a visual. Think of the Netflix save screen.
Yeah.
It's the word. But it's still Brian doing his Brian Regan face.
But he's doing the doofus face where he's like, duh, and it's like just. But like we were talking about that with Nate Bargatze, like just set it on fire on your last one, and that would be Robin Williams just going like, all right, here's really what happened on Mork and Mindy.
Yeah.
And here's what happened on Cadillac Man.
Yeah.
And I wasn't happy about Awakenings because De Niro was a prick. And you're like, I would love to hear. Yeah,
or
you're
just
right.
Even like the stories he would tell me about making Popeye.
Crazy when they're so coked out of their mind.
Well, first off, have you rewatched Popeye?
No.
Okay, go rewatch Popeye.
We might have to do that as another watch along.
Yeah. It is a sneak remake of McCabe and Mrs. Miller, his earlier Robert Altman movie, to the point where when they go to the betting track, there's a little red light whorehouse.
Sure.
And there's a woman with red curly hair lying on like one of those opium beds looking at a piece of stained glass, which is the final shot of McCabe and Mrs. Miller. They put that in there in the movie. And he said, we're on the island of Malta, which is gorgeous, but they had very, very strict import laws. We couldn't get cocaine in there. And our producer was Robert Evans. One time I got Harry Nielsen and Robin Williams and Robert Altman to do Popeye. Was I crazy? I was. But like a fox. So
whoever played Robert Evans in that show about making The Godfather?
Yeah, who did that?
Can you look that up? It's the Miles Teller show. About what is it called? Like not
the bargain?
Look, we'll get
the offer.
It might be called The Offer.
Okay,
it might be called The Offer. It is The Offer. That show is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
But the guy that plays Robert Evans,
who played Robert Evans?
If we look it up, he was fucking Matthew Good played Robert Evans.
Listen, Matthew was good, but was he great? No one can be Robert Evans.
No one, baby. Hey, we're gonna get coke. We need to get coke to Malta.
Well. So Robin said they were having trouble getting cocaine in, and then suddenly every Friday, 3 like insanely hot Slovenian models would show up, and then they would go into the restroom and they would come out, and then there'd be cocaine for everyone.
so cool.
So Robert Evans would like get them to, you know,
Whoa.
and then the custom guys were like, bellissima,
Yeah.
hey, and they wouldn't bother them, and then they would go. That's how they got the cocaine.
Can I tell you right now?
By the way, that's a movie in itself.
Yeah.
Make that movie. Holy shit.
Can I also tell
Sorry.
you it makes me yearn for a simpler time where beautiful women could trick men of authority by doing like under the chin and then smuggle in
Ooh,
a
you're
kilo
so
of cocaine in
Ooh,
their pussy.
yeah.
Is by going
Oh,
like under
that's
the
nice.
chin of a guy where he goes, oh, like that. You're like, bellissimo, please come to Malta.
You're right,
and
right.
then they're like, thunk, and they go, there you go, Evans. I got your
Hang on,
brick in.
let me open this balloon up.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
because I only met Robin Williams once, and he was very quiet. It was at the Comedy Cellar,
When he wasn't on, he was conserving his energy and
like Gilbert Godfrey. It was very similar.
yes, Gilbert was the same way. Yeah, I mean, although every time I ever hung out with Gilbert, we were yakking about old movies and
That's
Bela
fun.
Lugosi, so I never really saw him calm because
I
we were
watched
just such
him.
movie
I
nerds.
would watch him almost get like activated at the cellar.
Oh, yeah.
where he would just be like sitting there, and he'd be like, "Oh, hello, oh, thank you, thank you." Then, Gilbert, you have to go on, and then you'd be like, "Why is it that I can't?" But it was like 0 to 1,000. It's like the
Yeah.
sand flats.
You flip the switch.
Yeah, but it was like one of those cars on the sand flats
Hang
where they would be
on.
like, he'd be like, I always remember this is specifically what I always do, and everyone will talk about Gilbert Godfrey always wanted to take home food.
Yes, he did.
So when you work Comedy Cellar,
food, utensils,
anything.
Yeah.
So him and his lovely wife
Yeah.
would be at the Comedy Cellar, and they would always be talking to a waitress, and this was always before his set, and he'd be like, "Yeah, please, can I get that to go?" And they'd give him like one of those plastic bags with like 5 to go things.
Oh, my
stacked.
God.
And then he would just go down those stairs, and he would go up, and he would just you could walk, you could sit in the stairs and hear it like a fucking siren go off. He'd be like, "I'm standing here wondering why." That was when I used to listen to him. That's when I started doing Michelle Wolf as Gilbert Godfrey.
Oh.
She was like, "I don't understand. Why am I?" It's very close. It's very similar.
It is very okay.
Yeah, right. I do Michelle Wolf going, "I have red hair and I love to run. What am I doing? Am I fast?"
What? Okay, I hate to take this conversation in a
Do
weird
it any way you want to.
You were talking about earlier, and then I cut you off, and we never got back to it.
Yeah.
About your new special. You have this closing bit that you'll be very, very happy to be, because we're talking about when you think of a new thing.
Sure.
And you were about to say something about, because I also have a closing bit that I'm very secure in knowing I can always close my show on it, but I have to let it go because I got to do something new.
It's a binky.
It is a binky.
It's
yes,
a binky.
that's yeah.
I will tell you right now, when I was building this hour, I had that first. And there's like, for any young comics watching, I would give the advice of get your closer first.
Figure out where it's
because you
gonna
almost go. I would hit 35 minutes. I knew my closer was 20 minutes. So I would go like, it would hit that 35 minute, even if I was struggling, even if the show was like, I'm trying jokes and they're not really working and I'm at the funny bone.
I can always land
I
on
hit
this.
that 35-minute mark and I go like,
Here
and
we
then
go.
you just go like, it felt like a parachute. Like
Yeah,
you throw it and be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
all right, we're going to land safely on this. But then now it's like, I really am doing like almost like a sitcom final episode, like running my hand along it, being like, we went through a lot of shit, baby.
Yeah.
But this is it. This
Remember
is the
that
last.
time we were locked in that vault?
Yeah, it's just me being like, oh, that show in Portland, Maine really wasn't going
Yeah.
well. And then you bailed me out, brother.
So you know, do they know what the release date of the special is going to be? So you don't know that yet.
No, this is one of those leasing ones where we're just making it. And
And then they'll, okay, all right.
So it's like a Netflix special. One of the people at Netflix are great. They've been great to work with. But one of them texted me and they were like, we're so excited to do this. And I was just not in the right mood. And I texted back, yeah, I'm excited for you to borrow my special for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then just no response after that.
What if you had written back, who's we?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But there really is like it's cool and I'm excited for people to see it. But I'm very excited to tape a special in the Bay Area. And because I feel like this is the last time in the
Also, the
Throckmorton.
Throckmorton is such a gorgeous theater.
It's so cool.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so like very Northern California.
My new special was the first one that I taped in an actual comedy club.
Where'd you tape it?
I taped it at Comedy on State in Madison, Wisconsin, which I did it like a year and a half ago. That it is a cheat code. That
Comedy Works in Denver are cheat codes.
Is ridiculous. You know what it reminds me of? No, not the Comedy Works. The Comedy on State in Madison, Wisconsin.
No, I'm saying both of those clubs.
Oh, both of those, yeah.
They're equal in cheat codes.
They remind me of back in the 80s, the two clubs. Remember, you're young. You don't remember this. We would send out videotapes of ourselves.
Oh!
And they club that you mailed it. They had a VCR.
Oh!
And they would put your tape in the...
Okay,
and
it's getting late now.
That's how you... Yeah. Are you enjoying your peas, Patton?
We're the first example of podcast sundowning.
Yes. Oh my God.
There we go.
But you would
Was
mail
Judy Tenuta there?
with her. But we would mail our videotapes out, and the two places they wouldn't take videotapes from were Charlie Goodnight's in Raleigh and the Ice House, because those were also cheat codes back then.
So they knew.
They're just like, this is not an indicator of how good or bad you are.
Buddy, you could fart on stage and get a standing ovation.
You kind of could.
Really?
Especially at Charlie Goodnight's. It was ridiculous how good it was.
When I started comedy, it was right when everyone went from tapes to DVDs.
Yep.
And I was starting in comedy, but I was an open micer, so I didn't have a tape or anything.
Right.
But I remember the club. I started in Tucson at Laughs. But I would work other clubs around there or whatever, and I remember the owners being like, they're old. They were like old club owners, and they'd go like this. Believe they want us to take these DVDs? Like they're like, what is this? I gotta buy a laser disc.
Yeah, gotta buy a whole new machine.
Yeah,
what
that's
am
what
I?
it was. They're like, you send a tape, and you get the tape. But I was at the ass end of the VHS.
Okay,
I was in the beginning where people were
in
like,
the weird. Yeah.
If you had a camcorder that could make DVDs, you were king. People were like, please take my set.
Right.
My first weekend that I emceed at Laughs is on a mini DVD. It's all of the ones that you had to put in the bigger one. Do you remember those?
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy Jesus.
That piece of technology.
You're truly transitioning.
Yes.
Yeah, that was...
that little thing that you would drop the mini DVD in and you could put it in, that's what I have one of my first weekends on. Factor meals, baby. It's starting to become hot. You're going to want some summer meals. You maybe want to start losing some weight. I got to lose 8 pounds. So I'm looking at, I know that's very specific, but that's just what I want to lose as for my walk around weight at 42. I'm like, I need to get down to about 210, 212, and I'll feel good. But that's why you got to go get how am I going to eat healthy? Boom. Factor Meals has got you covered. They can build meals around your goals, whether it's weight loss, overall nutrition, more protein, GLP-1 support for strength and workout recovery, anything you need, bam. Factor Meals is going to help you take care of. And you could try the newly launched ready-to-eat salads with vibrant ingredients like elote corn and edamame, plus 70-plus add-ons to round out your nutrition, from green juices to peanut butter energy bites. They got it all. Head to factormeals.com/Soder50off. Use the code Soder50off to get 50% off and free daily greens per box with new subscriptions only, while supplies last until September 27th, 2026. See website for more details.
I have a closet full of CDs of
That's awesome.
shows, early shows, and this is kind of a brag, but my alma mater is, they go, we want your archives, send us all your stuff. We will build an archive of all your things. So I'm going to send them all my raw CDs, and they're going to catalog them, and so I'm like, damn,
Before you do that, I would ask, just because I always love finding out more stuff about comics that are have been around longer, because I think what you said about the stuff about admitting your faults or whatever. Yeah. Man, if I would have learned that in my 20s, I would have been such a better comic, because it's so hard to learn. Yeah,
but I think what I'm glad is there's documentation. My first HBO half hour and a lot of these early CDs.
Dude, is that Piss Drinkers Inc.?
Even before that, and also after that. But what I'm saying is, there's also documentation of me before I was comfortable enough to be vulnerable on stage. And there's early versions of me where I'm still in that, let me tell you how it is.
Yeah.
And I'm awesome and I'm brilliant. And so you can, and it's like when you watch, there's really early, I'm not comparing myself to Richard Pryor, but there's early Richard Pryor where he's trying to be Bill Cosby.
No, he's
not Richard Pryor.
You can watch.
And you can see the transition starting to happen.
I think it's not the Dick Cavett show. It's earlier than that, but
way earlier.
There's way earlier. There's like a Pryor on.
Might have been Jack Parr.
Yes, and he comes out and he is just doing Cosby.
Absolutely,
he's doing Cosby.
Yeah.
Which is, if you ever can read the book Pryor Convictions, the autobiography of Richard Pryor, which he wrote before he died. The scene about him going to Berkeley and wearing the dashiki,
that's right,
doing acid and then cussing. And then what's crazy is what they have documented is you can watch Richard Pryor live and smoking, which he recorded at the Improv in New York City, and he fucking bombs.
He bombs.
He starts talking about sucking dick and it being addictive.
They showed it at the American Cinematheque, and it's the one. And they even show a tiny clip of it at the beginning of Live in Concert when all the balloons are on stage.
Yes.
And he riffs something with the audience, and that actually gets laughs. But the audience, they are not ready for it, and they're not digging it.
And it's
when he
crazy
does
to
the
watch.
junkie thing, and he starts weaving back and forth. He goes, "I'm sick," and the audience is just dead. Like, what are we looking at?
They did not want it.
No.
But then you see, because then you watch 78, Live in Concert, which is like one of the greatest hours of all time. Which also he's being heckled the entire time.
Everyone's yelling,
screaming at him, and he's doing these bits about his dad dying of a heart attack while fucking, and people are just fucking screaming at him. It's wild, and he stayed in the pocket and killed it. But I think the thing is like the question I had about getting older is, so you have all this archive.
Yeah.
Is there a part of you that, before you send it to your alma mater, wants to listen to go, oh, I never did anything with that bit, but now I'm a much stronger comic. I can take that premise. Young Patton thought it was a good premise. Maybe older Patton can.
I remember Stephen King saying something about, he goes, I don't keep a notebook because if I get an idea and then it just stays with me and eats at me, and then I know that's an idea to pursue. And if it doesn't stay with me, it means it probably wasn't that important. And if there was a bit that I just could not or didn't follow up on, I should listen to them.
I just wonder if like the thing we were talking about you tape a special and all of a sudden you figure it out. Well, there also has to probably be some that you never figured out that you put down out of frustration.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? You walk by as a vet now and you pick it up and you go, oh shit, that's how that goes.
Fuck.
Because I do that.
Now
I do that with my
what?
old notebooks.
Well, they're digit. Yeah, I have so many notebooks.
So maybe do that. Like, go through
do the notebooks. Yeah.
Because it is cool where you go, that's actually not a bad premise. 22-year-old Dan.
They're digitizing all that for me right now. So once I get it all, because it's just like,
oh yeah,
hundreds of CDs of stuff being recorded off of soundboards and clubs. Like, hey, do you want this? I'm like, yeah, and I just took it and threw it in a closet.
Great.
But now I have it, so I'll go through it. And and I have so many fucking notebooks, so I can go through those. And
that's always what I thought was great about stand-up is like nothing is ever really dead until you record it.
Yeah.
And then you just go like, oh fuck, I completely forgot.
And as we've learned, sometimes even when you record it, it's not dead because then a month later you're like,
hand comes out of the ground and you're like, son of a bitch, it's still alive.
Has this ever happened? You have a bit and you got it all worked out and you fucking record it on a special, on an album.
Yeah.
And then you realize, oh, the whole first 3 minutes I could leave out and it's even tighter, but I don't even need the whole fucking preamble for it.
The reason I'm pointing at him is when I did my YouTube special, I did an hour in Portland Helium, one of the greatest clubs.
Oh, that's a great club.
And that's a cheat code.
Yeah, that's another cheat code.
We film it and we were in my living room editing it, and we just went like, I don't think we need that first 15 minutes at all. And then we cut it and we put it out, and then like the first response was like, this is fucking airtight. And you're like, well, it had a bunch of air in it. It had 15 minutes of fucking burps and farts that we cut out of it. But yeah, it's like that's always to me the fun part of the editing thing is like taking away stuff from it and being like, you don't need that. You don't need that at all. You don't
Get
need
right there.
that. And it's also like, I wish more things did that. Like companies and whether like car companies and shit, just make things better. I feel like we're in a weird stage because I don't know this disclosure.
Well, we're in shitification right now where we're adding too much.
Yes.
Like your car. It's almost like my car dealership needs to have its own version of a Genius Bar where I can bring and they teach me what all the buttons do. Like I don't need all this shit. Just
run.
Yeah, please just turn it on and go.
I don't need all this easy GPS.
Shit.
But that's what's interesting right now is like we're not efficient at making stuff as much as we used to be.
No.
And now there's also stuff coming out where you're like, and there's aliens might be real. Like this is when it's happening. Like when we're inefficient and when we're just like, because it keeps going like other people keep going like disclosure, and the Spielberg movie happens to be coming out with like I don't know if I'm being marketed to or if there's otherworldly beings. That's what I'm trying to say.
Or are they trying to ramp us up toward it so that there's not mass panic? Are they trying to ease us into it?
Which is like,
and by the way, listen. I rewatched Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which that movie is probably one of the best movies of the 70s.
So they're saying that this movie, Disclosure Day, that comes out in June, is an answer to that.
Well, okay,
that's what I heard. I don't know if that's true.
This is going to sound very this is going to sound, I hope this doesn't sound evil, but the whole section of the movie where they are trying to, they show the government dirty tricks guys going, okay, we got to think of a thing. It's a gas leak, and we got to scare people off. And they got the Piggly Wiggly trucks, and they're hiding everything. And you're like, then from when that movie came out, based on how we have reacted to COVID and trans people and anything new and the panics that it's caused, I'm like, I think the government was right to keep that shit from, like, we clearly as a species, we can't handle shit.
So
we cannot handle anything.
This is an excellent point that this is the only time I can make this point. I completely agree with that because I am a child of the 80s and 90s. I grew up with hyper violent action movies. I mean, I grew up
crazy,
obsessed with Rambo, Commando, Schwarzenegger and Stallone, anything they did. I mean, B movies, anything I could see where there was hyper violence.
All the ripoffs, want to see them.
All I want to see, all the JCVD.
The Eradicators.
I love them. I love RoboCop 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah,
I love the whole franchise.
Yeah,
it's all.
They're all
that shit.
I love them equally. Don't ask me to choose.
I won't, because I won't. I won't, just like I won't choose my Rambos.
Nope.
I know First Blood is an actual movie, but three, they teach the Taliban to fight the Russians. Which that aged horribly.
Yeah.
Where you watch Rambo literally train Al Qaeda.
And
I'm not joking. That's in Rambo 3.
And the end title is, this movie is dedicated to the brave fighters of the Mujahideen,
who took down the buildings.
Thank you, Osama. And then there's a James Bond movie where he teams up with the Mujahideen.
That's what I mean.
One of the Timothy Dalton ones. You're like, okay.
He's like, the only thing better than getting pussy is teaching terrorists how to fight. And you're like, I don't remember that line in James Bond. But I'm a child of hating Tipper Gore.
Right.
Parental Advisory, MTV. We were looking up to your generation as like, these guys, you guys were in your 20s.
We don't give a shit.
And you guys were cool. Gen X was like, fuck all this shit. Rock and roll needs to be uncensored. Rap music needs to be uncensored. And television needs to be uncensored. And I'm a kid and I'm like, fuck yeah. And then I get older and I grew up in Colorado. And, a mass shooting happens. And you go, what a tragedy. Columbine. And then another one happens and you go, was Tipper Gore right?
Yeah,
you go, were all those people that were like, there's too much violence in movies, and you're going like, fuck, I'm on their side.
Yeah,
like you don't want to be on their side, but you're like,
and then you read about like how the School of the Americas trains assassins, and one of the things they desensitize people to violence. They torture animals for them, show them footage of people being killed so that they don't.
And you're like, and you go, oh no, and it would. I think what would have fast tracked the thought of maybe they were right is if we found out that mass shooters were doing like Arnold lines, where he goes like, "Sorry, mall's closed," and then like, he goes,
"Let off a little steam."
They go. Did you know that Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold's last words were "School's out"?
Yeah,
and you go, "Oh no,
pencils down." That would not be.
Oh no, man, this makes This makes it so much worse that they're doing fucking like one little Arnold stingers at the end of their tragedies.
I am all for free speech. I could not be more for free speech, but every now and then there's something where I'm like, I'm all for free speech, but I'm also for smart speech. Like Sarah McLachlan, she wrote that song "Possession," and a lot of the lyrics she took them from letters that this obsessed fan was sending to her, a stalker. So she used his lines in the song, and I'm like, is that the best idea? Like,
also, let's just get into the legalities of it.
Right?
Does he have a gripe as a songwriting?
Apparently,
credit?
he did sue her, and it was and then he ended up killing himself. But it's like, is that this? And then I remember right after the Oklahoma bombing, and you can watch it. There's a trailer for that horrible remake of Day of the Jackal called The Jackal.
Jackal with Bruce Willis, Jack Black,
and it's close-ups of a hand.
Or is that Val Kilmer or Bruce Willis?
No, Bruce Willis and Sidney Poitier and Richard Gere.
Yes.
And Jack Black has a horrific death in that movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the gun. I know exactly. Yeah.
But so in the trailer, there's like close-ups of his hands like building a bomb and wiring stuff. And the voiceover is, in his own way, he's an artist. And this will be his masterpiece. So it's like, dude, are these the images and lines to put, especially with the way the country is? Is that the best thing to be saying right now? People going, I am an artist.
Because the documentary, if you were alive for the Oklahoma City bombing, and
I remember
at the exact same time what was going on was Richard Kuklinski. So people were thinking that the Unabomber was the Oklahoma City bomber.
Right.
And then it was like, but you're right. There was this like fever where all anyone wanted to talk about was Oklahoma City bombing.
Yep.
So there was an exec that was cutting it where the voiceover guy goes, I can't do this. I can't do this.
I don't.
And they go, do it. And he goes, this is his art. I mean, I lost a cousin. My cousin worked in the federal building in Oklahoma City, and this is his masterpiece. I mean, guys, what the fuck are we doing? Yeah, there is like this.
Do you want to get your deck stained or not?
But there is this like sensitivity where you go, maybe we don't do this right now.
Maybe it's not the best. And same with, look, I love Eli Roth, and this probably isn't even Eli's fault. Again, they cut the trailers. You have very little control, but it was right after all of the Trayvon Martin death.
Yeah.
And again, all the shootings, his remake of Death Wish.
Oh, yeah.
And the trailer is he's like in a hoodie and I've got to protect what's mine. Yeah. And then there's this hot blonde with big boobs. You're locked and loaded, baby. I'm like, these are not the best images to be putting out right now.
Guys, you guys are really putting some... It's like starting an argument between a drunk couple. Where you go, didn't you forget her at the airport one time? And they go, yeah you fucking did, you bitch. And then they're just in it, and you go, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
you're really
shaking up a jar of red ants. Here we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you're just making everyone angry. And there always is like, I'm always amazed at that level of evil, which I don't know if you can call it evil or if you want to call it just pure apathy.
I think it's pure apathy. I think
greed, apathy caused by greed.
Apathy caused by greed, and then the apathy is there to so they can soothe their own greed. They've looked in a mirror and gone, oh, fuck, that's a really evil, greedy ass thing to do. And then so the only way to protect is like, well, I don't fucking give a shit. Look, here's the businessman.
I'm balling, dude.
Yeah,
I'm balling out.
Or then they'll do this shit where they're like, look, we all do this shit. Like they try to make it so that everyone is like, no, not everyone is corrupt and shitty as you.
Which I feel like is the antithesis of how they got so many people in the Epstein shit. Where they were just going like, what, man? We all go to the island. We party. Like, there might be guys that just went to Epstein Island that were like, dude, I did a business deal. They said they would sign the deal if I went to this island.
Listen, go watch or read Serpico. The first thing the corrupt cops do is like, hey, you want some free food? You want to go like, they immediately want you. Yeah.
That meeting in the park?
The first thing they want to do is get you on the payroll so you can go, now you can't blow a whistle because you're on it too.
That's that meeting in the park with all the other cops. So they go, yeah, dude, we just do this.
Come on, man. You're in.
And by the way,
and the first person that goes, hey, I don't want this, or like, get rid of him.
By the way, comics are no different. We are the most corrupt cops. Where they go like this, hey, you should really like just try to be funny, try to be real, try to be yourself, try to be authentic, and make people laugh. And you go, yes, protect and serve. That's all I want to do. And then you see the first guy that goes, Well, I took the bit because I needed it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
he's like smoking a cigarette. He goes, why wouldn't I take the bit? Well, he's not going to use it. He's in fucking New Mexico. So I took it, and I took it to L.A., and you go, oh, that's corrupt. But then they do a small thing where they go, I don't know, I've got a lot of fans. Why don't you come on my podcast? You're like, oh, fuck, man. Oh, fuck, am I compromised?
We could totally...
I feel like a dirty cop in 2026.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't want to bring up the Riyadh thing, but we
Yeah.
could go down some very bad roads here.
But there really
there
is like a step
yeah.
of like, get a taste.
Come on, man, don't you want a little...
It's the guy, baby,
hey,
it's the
what's
guy
the-
from Montreal.
what's
Have a little taste. And you go, oh, yeah.
Look, anyone you've ever respected, they've all had to
And then
fucking
I'm
do it.
like-
Don't worry about, you know.
I'm like,
or
they're
it's,
like-
it's like Denzel Washington in Training Day.
Yeah.
Listen, you got to do the shit
Yes.
so you can then do the stuff that, then we can do the stuff that's good.
Yes,
You're
that's
like,
exactly what you get. You have
talking
money
about?
to tour. Meanwhile, I'm at home like a Chicago cop holding on with my wife. I'm like, don't you understand, Katie? I'm doing jokes about my dead dad. They're out there doing TikTok shit. I don't want to be posted on They're damn influencers acting like caps.
I don't want to talk to the fucking crowd, but it's what everyone's doing now.
I do feel like Dennis Farina.
Yeah.
Just that whole like thing of like,
Dennis Farina.
you go, I don't know what am I doing here. I was a wise guy. They're not wise guys. But there
Have you
is, like,
seen how now whenever Maria Bamford does crowd work, she'll give the person $20 because she's like, you're working.
That's so great.
You should get money for this. So it's the same as when you go to the store and they have the automatic bagger thing. You're like, are you going to pay me for
Yeah.
putting in an hour time doing shit?
I think the sign of Hall of Fame all-time joke is that whenever you do something, you think of someone's bit. Mm-hmm. I cannot bag my own groceries without thinking of Bill Burr's joke about the self-checkout line, where he goes, oh, this whole time I thought I was a comedian. Turns out I was late for my shift at the grocery store. And he like does this whole thing. I think of that line every time I'm bagging it, where it's like, oh yeah, no, I work at the grocery store. It's
Well, I did a bit, and I stopped doing it because it was so grim, but it was real. I mean, it got laughs, but I got sad doing it. Do you remember when the self-checkout things first came out, and they had the other checkout, the actual checkout people teaching you how to use it, teaching you how to replace them?
Yeah. They go, I'm going to be obsolete.
Yeah, but they made the humans in the store come over and go, this is how I'm out of a job.
They still do that.
Let me show you. Which is the fucking...
It's the most cuck chair
dystopian-
shit in the world, where they go, you sit right there in your chair.
Yeah.
Watch the computer do it
But like part of you wants to go, no, let me go over to your aisle and let you. No, I don't want you getting
I will
replaced.
go out of my way.
Please.
I will go out of my way to check out with a human being.
Yeah, me too.
To be like,
I won't use those things. I feel
like,
terrible.
Bag of meat. Look at me, bag of meat.
Yeah.
Scan the things that bring me fuel.
It's 5:45. You just put in 8 hours work, and we need you to put in another 20 minutes here at the store.
'Cause I'm gonna tell you
By the
right
way,
now-
none of your groceries are going to be cheaper. You get no discount for doing this.
And if I'm going to do that, I'm going to take smoke breaks with the guys that work at the grocery store.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, where were you? There's an aisle that's backed up.
And I'm going to steal some yogurt pretzels out of the bulk bins, like everyone else does.
I mean, my God, I do. Honestly, one of the things I do miss about working a shitty job is stealing from a place that I thought was fucking me over.
Yes.
It's a good youth thing to go
It's
through.
a very good youth thing to do.
Where because you feel like you take a little bit of the power back.
Yeah, a little bit of the.
No matter where you work.
It's like because you are making someone else money, and you're throwing
Especially
away.
if it's a large corporation. I'm not talking about small businesses.
No, if you're working for but if you're a massive chain.
I worked for
you're
Bed
like,
Bath & Beyond.
Oh, well,
And this is when I was saving up money to move to New
Oh,
York.
so that's why they went out of business because of your shit.
Because I just was in the middle taking those chocolate bars out of the sheets, eating a whole chocolate bar and then hiding it in like the plastic of a down comforter. Like, you know how many people in Tucson, Arizona bought down comforters, went home and took it out of the bag and found a lint wrapper? Like stuffed in the thing where they were like, why is there a chocolate wrapper? Like they thought they were Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. They're like, why is there a chocolate wrapper? Just because 21-year-old me was just eating chocolate and then shoving it in there.
the Arizona Chocolate Phantom. I can't believe I'm talking to him. Wow. I always thought it was an urban myth. Apparently it's real.
Arizona Chocolate Phantom. If that's not the real of this episode, I'm never podcasting again. Dude, I can't tell you how much this meant that you were able to change your schedule and come and hang out.
I was glad you were, because my schedule got fucked today, so this is great, man.
You are an all-timer, one of my favorite comedians. I said this to you when we hung out in Grand Rapids with Brendan Sagalow.
That's right.
Which was very fun, and also Sagalow didn't want to do this, but you're his favorite comedian. And
really?
He was just like the whole time like, dude, this is surreal. You did a guest spot when we were at Dr. Grin's. And
I stayed and watched your set, and it was fucking so goddamn hilarious.
I really appreciate that.
It was so chaotic and real, and it was like I don't want to gush too much, but it was one of those things where I mean, I did a guest set. I did very well.
Yeah,
but then you came in, and it was you and the audience clicked on this other level, and I just kind of sat back and went, "Oh, here we go!" And it was so fucking great.
I'm going to have you cut that exact piece. And I'm going to play that when I'm on a plane, fucking sliding mentally.
Oh, here we go.
But as I told you in Grand Rapids, truly your HBO one night stand, yours and Dave Chappelle's, are truly the reason. Same season.
That's right.
I can still quote most of the half hours, both yours and Dave's. I can do the whole Nick Nolte as Han Solo. I can do the whole Cops bit. I can do Piss Drinkers Inc., as I said earlier.
Wow.
But truly set me on my way to doing stand-up because I watched you and Dave Chappelle, and I was like, well, I want to do that.
Thanks,
I remember that. So just the fact that you went and hung out and how cool of a guy you are means the world to me. This is like the best.
Thanks,
Patton
man.
Oswalt, the special, June 9th on
YouTube. You can get it now. Gorilla Plus Comedy, new streaming app, has all your favorites on it. Me, David Cross, everyone's on there.
Yeah.
But then on June 9th, it'll be on YouTube.
I'm telling you right now, the thing about YouTube specials that's great is when people hear that, they go, I have access to that.
You can just watch it right now.
You just watch it right fucking now.
Watch
you
it on
don't
your
need
phone.
to go sign up for anything.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. Well, check out his special, June 9th. This rules. You rule. Thank you.
Thanks, man.